She don't love him like that.
And we're live. Hello, Clarice. It puts on the lotion.
Can you see that on camera?
Good morning.
No, you can see that you can't see that on camera.
I know. Trying to get you to
You're
look
so
up.
special. What are you trying to do?
She
like
is
scratch your
definitely
back?
special.
Yeah,
Ed.
trying to scratch my shoulder. The
Yeah.
So
special
early.
finger.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So early.
Friggin'
for
scratching
those.
sniff.
Oh my God.
Friggin' weirdo.
You're a weirdo. And Mr. He's after a little bit after you got there, he came back with them
He
from
came
lunch
back.
at work.
It always comes back. What are
Oh
you
my
talking
God.
about?
So then
She just has to get a cream for it. That's all.
No, that's stuff. So he said something and I threw a piece of paper at him and he was like, the customer's always right. And I was like, oh my God, you are so not going to be like that.
I was like, you know what? I'm the customer. And she's like, what? I'm like, you can't do that. I'm the customer. She's like, but I was like, hey, as of right now, I'm the customer. And I look at Car and I said, right. And she's like, unfortunately.
And then she probably threw something at you.
After I left.
Yeah.
She threw some shade at you.
Some shade?
Some shade?
Yeah.
Kind of
Did y'all
shade?
see? She made I'm not picking on her, but she made a post about being too nice to people or something like that. And I typed, I liked your gift already. Gosh.
It was perfect too. It was chapstick from
My
Jamaica.
wife's going to really love it because it's like a 2.5 ounce shot glass.
Did you give it to her yet?
Man, it was a busy day yesterday. So it's in the car. She's
You didn't
grabbing.
give her any.
No.
Not
She's
yet.
she's supposed to be grabbing it and getting it out of the car on her way to work.
Grabbing what?
Really?
The stuff that Karin gave us. Yesterday was just a long day. Like,
He's not
she's had
into it.
I'm not feeding into y'all's chaos.
Whatever.
So she's getting it this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a long last 2 days, man. It's just been crazy.
And Merle Haggard's dead. What?
Yeah, on his birthday. And do you know his son?
He said his
son typed on his dad's page or something last night saying that he said he would die on his birthday. It's like, how crazy is that? I made a promise to my wife. Wow. It's the only promise I can really try to keep. It's like, I won't die on my birthday. I promise. I won't die on your birthday, and I won't die on Emmy's birthday or Zaylee's birthday. But all the other people's,
how are you gonna
all the other people's birthdays questionable, like your birthday or your birthday. It's a joke.
I was gonna say because
think of how many days are in the year. How can you say what day you're gonna die? So I'm making a joke saying
I won't Christmas Day.
I won't die on my birthday, but I might die on yours.
Now the weird thing is like a lot of people that I've known in my life have died either on their birthday or very close to their birthday. I don't know why or
Is your birthday tomorrow? Because I'm waiting.
Oh, you got two that time.
Hey, now that you're working at an insurance company,
flock.
American Family Insurance, you need to go ahead and get you some insurance.
Get me some life insurance.
That's right.
Hopefully my computer works better today because it was really peeing me off last night or yesterday.
Yeah, because I
was about to throw it.
Yeah.
Your personal computer or the work?
I'm all for throwing stuff. This morning, Abby's watching me, and I don't want to give out the name of the program I'm using, but this Windows 10 has changed a few things. So here I am. I've got, five songs I'm trying to get downloaded, and Jacob's texting me all sorts of junk that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. So I'm like,
shut up, Jacob.
He's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, she walked in with me going, everybody leave me alone. Because I got people texting me, asking me all sorts of just odd questions that have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm trying to do.
And I played an April Fool's prank on you.
But 7 to 7:30, I'm getting set up, trying to get all the camera stuff ready. And then this morning, it's like this freaking Windows 10, man, just had me jacked where I couldn't get what I needed downloaded. And
he's trying to download songs and all he has to press is enter.
Yeah, it's so weird to make it make sense. It's got a little bit of an edit thing. And it used to have a click button that's like a go, start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is if you start from the beginning, it has file name, and then underneath has description, blah, blah, blah. So usually you go into file name, change the file name, then you go down to description, and then you go down to this. And then when you're done, you scroll on down and hit enter. Hit start.
Right.
Well, now I've tried every button there is. because I started at the top and worked my way down. The problem is after you do all the editing, you're supposed to go back up to the file name,
go back to the top,
click on the bar, just like you're editing the song again. And as soon as you get the last letter typed, you hit enter.
Just enter.
That's all it is. Just hit enter. But there's no description to tell you have to do this from here on out. There's no nothing.
I don't remember any of what he just said.
I'm telling you,
is at the end
that's
of it,
how stupid
enter.
it is. Yeah, but what you're saying, that's it. That's right. How stupid it is, though. And it's like, are you kidding me? For days, I've been sitting here going, why is this program not working? And it's that stupid and that simple.
And he's like, leave me alone. I'm like, I didn't say nothing.
No, I was yelling at my phone.
I'll walk back.
I was laughing, and Jacob, I don't mean to hurt your feelings when I say this. So I was laughing. I looked at Abby. I said, here's somebody who's got all this stuff typed out telling me to go put it on the just for fun, the Electric High page. And I'm like, you belong to that page too.
You can put it there.
You can go put it there. I am busy.
You can do it.
Or you can talk. I won't even remember what he typed because I didn't even read it. I'm just like, I'm trying to do something. And it's no offense to him. He doesn't know. But it's just between that 7:30, man, there's a lot trying to happen.
Y'all.
So now it's kind of like, whew, got that figured out.
Hey, did you see this? I just saw it roll through my news feed. The bike ride at Falcon Fury with the new sheriff.
Huh?
Does he have a motorcycle?
Who?
I didn't know he knew how to ride.
Who, what, when, and where? What
it
are we
says,
talking
come
about?
out and ride with your sheriff this Saturday from 11 to 1 at Falcon's Fury. I didn't know that the current sheriff knew how to ride a bike.
Is he going to sit on the back and ride around in circles with somebody?
I have actually seen him one time pull up on a bike.
Oh, really?
One time.
Just once?
Just once.
I just now saw it, and I was like, well, I didn't know if you were invited.
Well, one, it's effed up Fury. Number two, it's Eric Levitz. You think he's inviting me for a glass of sweet tea, even in hell?
Probably not.
No. And you know, the funny thing is,
what if he just showed up?
Is if he ever was man enough to look at me and say, listen, I f***ed up and lied to you by accident.
Just own up
I
to it.
effed up and I said I was going to handle something. I apologize because I didn't get it handled. Bygones be bygones. Let's roll forward.
Right.
But as a man, you shook my hand and promised something, and I call you a liar. It's that simple. You want to be the church brother? You want to be, the hugging, everybody loves you personality brother? And be everybody's everything. And on a personal level, you may be a great guy, but you lied to me, and I'll never will forget that. I love hanging out with Oz. Mike Myers is a super great guy. I'll just love Mike Myers. And Eric, other than the fact that he lied to me, that's the only problem I got. My only problem. My problem with Eric is not on a personal level. It's my sheriff, whether it be Bob, Tony, Bobby, Ricky, or Tom, lied to me. My sheriff lied to me. I don't care what his friggin' name is. He lied to me. That's my problem.
Right.
That's solved. So there you have it.
Okay.
Just saying. Everybody wants to know what my problems are.
I'm starting the countdown.
And Terry Mahaffey looked at me the other day when me and him were having a discussion, and I said, just don't lie to me. I said, if you ever lie to me, we're done. And people can say whatever they want, but I got a big ass reach, and I will make sure that I will air the fact that you lied to me, because lies are lies. That's all there is to it.
Denise says she got a big booty too.
She got no booty.
No, not me. You.
She's got a case of white girl-itis.
You have a big ass mouth and you have a big ass.
Well, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
So I found this interesting article the other day. It's 13 celebrated geniuses and their shocking drug of choice.
Shocking drug of choice, which some people treat electrical stimulation as a drug.
Yeah, drugs altered their minds, and their minds altered the world. Who knew that such brilliant thinkers were also so willing to experiment with controlled substances? So the first one is Steve Jobs.
Really?
He's a visionary known around the world for his contributions to Apple, but you might not know that Jobs created a lot of his innovation to experimenting with LSD at a younger age. According to sources, he believed that experimenting with LSD in the 60s was one of the 2 or 3 most important things he had done in his life. So basically, next time you're on your iPad, you have LSD to think.
To think or to think?
Yes, I think.
You should think.
To think. Take it which way you want it.
Can I get y'all to swap seats?
I know, right?
Because I think she's starting to sound like that chair.
Okay, Sigmund.
Somebody asked me about Steph yesterday, by the way. They were like, hey, what happened to Steph? I was like, oh, no, she's sick. I have no answers.
What's her excuse today?
I don't know. I guess she's still sick. I haven't talked to her.
Kidding. Sigmund, how do you say it? Freud?
Sigmund Freud.
Got it right the first time.
You got it.
So while he is known for being one of the world's greatest psychoanalysts, he also is
just
also
psycho.
He is also known for his admiration of cocaine and his frequent use of the drug. Sigmund Freud.
Cocaine. That's the first time I've heard that name and cocaine in the same sentence. That's just funny. Keep going.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why this is a really interesting article.
Yeah, that's just so I'm odd might be my word.
Mm-hmm. You just wouldn't expect it.
Well, you don't expect that. Like you've heard so much over the years of that name, but you've never actually heard somebody bring in the word cocaine with that name.
Yes.
You know, you're like,
is that where Freudian
is that
came
really
from?
what we just talked about, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just funny.
He spoke publicly about the benefits of moderate cocaine usage.
Moderate cocaine
usage. In a letter to his fiancée, Martha, he wrote that if all goes well, I will write an essay on cocaine, and I expect it will win its place in therapeutics by the side of morphine and superior to it. I take a very small dose of it regularly.
You hear that? I take more small. Yeah.
Regularly.
I take a very small dose of it regularly against depression.
I take fiber regularly.
Brilliant.
So I can be regular.
Is that what you left in the bathroom this morning?
No, apparently that was from one of the last night's douche nuggets.
I thought they were just being nice.
Yeah, they just left
leaving you a present. Yeah,
they just left.
The next one is Bill Gates. He's worth 80 billion today, but way back when the Microsoft visionary was experimenting with LSD also.
You know
they were roommates in college.
Well, you know what I find funny is, and I said this to my daughter, all these people are spending way too much money to feel like we feel normally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all these people are becoming addicts and spending all this money getting hyped up on cocaine, and me and Emmy, we have it 100% natural. All these people are spending all this money to get high, and it's normal for me. So when everybody starts talking about drugs, I'm like, nope, I'm cheap. I don't need any.
He's got enough for everybody.
Yeah. I might need some pot to slow me down. Somebody, people like you're not on drugs, but you need some.
Yeah. In an interview with Playboy, Gates touched on his
He touched on what? God, change your words up.
I'm just telling you.
I know you're telling us. You're a little weirdo.
Just don't show us.
On his experimentation with the drug.
The
Oh, Lord. Saying that there were things I did under the age of 25 that I ended up not doing subsequently. Even the brightest people dabbled back in the day, apparently. And then...
He dabbled or he dibbled?
Dibble, dabble, dabble, dibble. Dribble, drabble.
Carl Sagan.
What did he do?
I have no idea who he is.
Renowned astrophysicist and cosmologist.
Oh, he studied
Carl Sagan.
He works at Cosmopolitan?
Yeah. He was a fan of Mary Jane. He openly discussed his marijuana habits in addition to advocating for its recreational use to stimulate intellectual endeavors. He wrote a 1971 essay called Marijuana Reconsidered, in which he talked about the benefits of the drug. Richard Feynman, he was a celebrated physicist known for his groundbreaking work in quantum mechanics. He also dabbled in LSD, marijuana, and ketamine. He stopped, however, when he worried he might become addicted. He once wrote that he got such fun out of thinking that I didn't want to destroy this most pleasant machine that makes life such a big kick. So he did all of them, but it's crazy that a lot of people are like, I love this, and they don't stop. Francis Crick. Crick was part of the team Watson, Crick, and Franklin, who together discovered the all-important DNA structure. To what do we owe his magnificent scientific discovery? LSD, apparently. Crick told many people about his LSD experimentation and how he used the drug while working on the molecular structure experiments. Ooh, this one's very interesting.
Yeah, because I'm starting to feel like I told you to shut up. Talking to Mike.
Thomas Edison.
Yes. What did he invent?
American inventor.
No, I'm asking you.
The light bulb.
Why did you interrupt?
I'm sorry.
Because do you know how many people have said something else? Like one of these night shows has some guy that walks out like on the beaches and stuff like that and has microphones and asks questions. And there's so many people that can't, like, do you know where the Boston Tea Party happened? And you'll hear people go, I think it was in New York, like in a harbor. And I'm thinking, holy cow, he just said the Boston Tea Party. I mean, so I just figured I would ask. I'm not the greatest with history. It's just so funny, though, when you ask these kind of questions and people have no. Go ahead, sorry.
The iconic American inventor regularly consumed a cocaine-laced drink.
God, cocaine is making its comeback. Wait a minute. This is from history. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
A Bordeaux wine treated with coca leaves, the main ingredient of which is cocaine. In some recipes, the ethanol in the wine would extract cocaine from the leaves in concentrations exceeding 7 milligrams per fluid ounce. Next time you turn on a light bulb, be sure to think the effects of cocaine on one of our greatest inventors. John C. Lilly is remembered for his groundbreaking work in the area of electronic brain stimulation, what we were talking about earlier. He was the first person to ever map pain and pleasure pathways in the brain. He also toyed around with mind-altering drugs such as LSD and ketamine. Talk about a sensory experience. Paul Erdos, he was a Hungarian mathematician remembered for his eccentric lifestyle and his influential.
Really?
In fact, he once entered a bet with a friend that he could live without amphetamines for an entire month. He won the bet, but reported that he couldn't do any math during the month-long period. So he consumed popping pills, and math was forever changed.
I guess he's telling you to hurry up.
I just think when it starts getting on some of the longer infos, we just kind of start blurring it out.
This Frederick Nietzsche, whatever. He's a German philosopher.
Sounds like an Indian if his last name's Nightsheet.
He was addicted to
one
opium.
Who sheets in wood. I mean,
no, that was left in the bathroom.
Yeah, baby.
He was addicted to opium, taking huge doses at times where his work would have definitely been influenced. But he wrote The Genealogy of Morals in 2 weeks on an opium binge. Pablo Picasso.
Homeboy right there had to be high. Picasso, when you see some of his stuff, oh my God.
Let's see. He dabbled in psychotropic drugs during his lifetime. His use of opium, morphine, and hashish. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Hashish, yes.
Is that kind of like marijuana?
Hash is it's the tar and oil from that.
Okay.
Actually, there's a pothead I know. I showed up at his house one day. We were going riding bikes. And I'm not lying. He said, hey, come here, man. I got to show you something. And I'm thinking, we're fixing to go ride motorcycles.
Right.
He's going to show me like something on the internet, like he's wanting to order for his bike. Like he knows my views on drugs. And I walk in. He's like, sit down a minute, man. I got to get my boots on. I'm like, okay. He says, I want you to see this new stuff, man. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, karaoke. He's make some new chrome parts. It's a how-to video on how to make hash. Like
you know
completely step by step how to make hash in your own oven. And I'm just like, never met somebody so excited about how to make hash. But literally he wanted to be able to make it, and it would be about the size of that iPhone and about as thick as that. And he was talking about, how you could stick it in your pocket and just drive down the road and hand it. I'm just like, oh my God, are we really having this conversation?
That's funny.
Yeah, man. But hash, by the way, anybody that thinks hitting a bowl, I'm not trying to condone drugs. I'm just using an example for people that don't know hash. Anybody that thinks hitting the little bit of a one hitter on pot. Mm-hmm. Now a one hitter on regular Mary J and a one hitter on hash. let's just say the one hitter on hash would be probably equivalent to about 10 hits a pot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Little more potency.
This Dr. William.
Probably sure it's a little more dangerous too, because think about the crap you're putting in your lungs and your brain, everything else. Keep going. I don't know. It's not like I'm an authority or anything.
Dr. William Halstead, he was credited for inventing the mastectomy.
Mastectomy, as in
breast cancer.
The boobs. Yes, I just hugged a lady yesterday that had a double mastectomy, and I didn't even know.
You can give partial credit to cocaine for that discovery. Halstead not only used cocaine as an anesthetic for his patients, but he also used it himself.
So he gets high and says, we're going to cut off some boobs.
Right. Pretty much.
Wow.
And you're not going to feel it.
Howard Hughes.
Serial killer.
You remember him?
Yes. Greatest man that ever walked the planet. He's one of the greatest inventors ever.
Yeah,
all you people that watch DirecTV have to thank him, by the way, because he created DirecTV.
He can list drug addict to his list of achievements. He would pop everything from codeine to Valium pills. Yeah. And then
I mean, if you think of everything that he's created, it was holy cow, the stuff that he created. I mean, when I say he created DirecTV, that's a loose statement. He is the one that created the idea of ever being able to do that, period. And most people don't even realize that when you're watching DirecTV or your box even says HughesNet on it. That's his.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've probably watched the movie The Aviator a couple dozen times just because when it's on, I'm always intrigued to watch it because you always notice something in the movie that you didn't notice before. But he was a very smart man.
Interesting.
To be nuts towards the end. But if you think about it, most of the really
why he was nuts towards the
great creators are a little crazy to begin with.
Because he had STDs. That's what it ate away at his brain.
Yeah, but what does that got to do with anything? He was smart before that.
Right. It just made him crazier.
He's a little crazy before that. Like some of the planes he made and then nobody would test drive them. No. Oh, I will. Are we sure it's going to fly? Oh, hell, well, who cares?
We'll try.
Just let him.
But, if you think about it, most of the really smart guys are a little unusual anyways.
Right.
I don't claim to be smart. I just claim to be unusual.
You are unusual.
Very.
I mean, I had a vision to do this, and now look.
Right. It happened.
When they say it wouldn't work, here we are.
Yesterday, because I know the Chili's was all in the news. Our Chili's and Dogwood that failed with the 46.
Did you get that message?
Man, it's all over the place. There's like people I know that usually are non-confrontational. Like they don't share, they don't put stuff on Facebook. They don't want to be, in anything that could link the drama. And I saw that Chili's picture. And then underneath it, you can see everybody that shared it. And there's like 46 people in a row and I don't know how much Facebook allows you to see who shares all that stuff. Right. But I'm like going through this list going, wow, like I barely even see this person on Facebook. I mean, I'm sure they're on Facebook, but if they're not posting or sharing, you don't see their name. So for me, I'm kind of like, wow, like they lit that up.
Yeah, hold on, talk one more time about it.
So it's just insane. It's just insane. And truthfully, I think I've eaten there since it opened in that location. I mean, I may have eaten there a dozen times, maybe.
Right.
And that's since the day it opened. We probably go once a year. And I'm trying not to knock them. Every time I go there, I seem to get
poor service.
Yes, and then that's why I don't go back.
Right.
I mean, I'll end up in that parking lot shopping or something, and I say to my wife, would you like to get something to eat? And we're like, we don't ever really go to Red Lobster because we just don't. We go to Applebee's a lot. So that's where we're like, well, we're right next to, we're coming out of Coles. Well, let's go to Chili's. And then we go there and then it's like, well, this is why we didn't come back last time. Right. I mean, we purposely even sit at the bar at this point to get better service. Yeah. And it sucks.
Yeah. The violations included numerous clean pans and trays with old food debris, mold-like substance inside ice bins in the main kitchen, and bar and cold food not held cold enough. But they were retested yesterday and got a 94.
Man.
So, update on that.
But, even with that.
94.
Just like the Wendy's on Salem Road.
46.
They just get a bad rap. Nobody wants to go back. So.
Yeah, it's totally going to drop some business off.
Yes.
Want to go to break?
Yes.
We certainly should.
Yes, before she has
we certainly should. Because we overtalked it just a second, but since we were on that conversation, I figured, we would just let everybody go to sleep, and we'll be right back, everybody. It's just for fun in the morning.
Hey, Scott, I got to show you something.
Please don't do that behind the camera. Golly, my wife might see that.
Oh, my God.
She's just being sociable. She's just being sociable.
I know. I'm just trying to make the listeners think you're a weirdo.
She is a weirdo.
They already know that, though. So how about this backrest I wanted, right? So I bought the bracket that I wanted for the backrest that I wanted, but I couldn't find the backrest that I wanted. So Ravens shows up yesterday. He has one. I spend all day trying to modify that to fit my needs. I finally get it where it will work. It's not like the way I want it, but it'll work. I talked to Joe Leeper, and he goes, "Oh, I got that backrest." I'm like, "You SOB, I have been working on this all day." He said, "Well, why didn't you ask?" I went, "Why would I thought to?" So now I know that little page. Right. We need to start saying, "I'm looking for." And yeah, because he says, "I'm a pack rat." He says, "I got crap everywhere for Harleys." I said, "Oh, so I'm not the only one." I said, "I made a deal with Snow. I just start recycling my stuff to him."
He used to get his headlight done. I was out there yesterday looking at it.
He can have mine.
You got to take the old one off.
I know.
Just the lens, right?
Yeah.
Not the bulb.
Yeah, I can show you how to do it. I'll give you the bulb I got or the headlight I got. And then just bring me his. That way I can just clean it.
Right.
That's why my back's so sore, because I kept leaning over working and then sitting on a stool and leaning over working.
Do you ever do like the what is it? Theraflu, not Theraflu, Thermaflu or whatever the hell it is, the little heated salon pods where they're heated patches for your back? Not a heating pad.
Oh, you're talking about, I was talking about drinking Thermaflu.
No, not drinking it.
Ooh,
like the patches you can put on.
My problem is because of my nerve damage. Let me word it that way. Because of my nerve damage, if I go to the gym, y'all feel sore. I don't.
Because you don't feel it.
But my problem is I'll overdo something because I don't feel it. But then when it becomes hurt, I feel it. The problem is my hurt level, when I feel a 1 or a 2, your hurt level, my 2's probably like your 8. Right. So my problem is by the time I feel it, means I've done way too much. That's my problem. And that's what happened yesterday, is I probably should have noticed some of the moves I was making was going to be today. And that's my problem. Same thing with my leg. For instance, next Monday, this coming Monday, right? I won't be able to walk Monday because I know what's going to happen Sunday. I won't feel it as it's happening. But when it swells up to the point of hurting.
Have you thought to go have it?
Oh, I've already been a couple times, and they've just now decided to send me an x-ray. Now it's another insurance company, so I got to go through their process.
Don't know if you have to have knee surgery.
I know I won't be able to. I got to make sure if I get knee surgery, it happens. November would give me like.
No, I just saw that scroll. Biker thing.
Oh, it's. I mean, what do you say?
Nothing.
That's why I was even throwing it out there saying,
it says,
be man enough to apologize to me for lying to me and let's move forward. But as long as you're going to hide and not be man enough to admit that you lied to me, right, I'll never forgive you. Come up to me and say, look, I am so sorry. I said I was going to fix it. I'm sorry because of misfortunes. I haven't been able to do what I said I was going to do. Even if you deny saying that you lied to me and just say I haven't been able to get to it, I apologize. But the fact that you promised me on multiple levels that you were going to fix it, then that's where I call you a liar.
Look, just this week alone, since it's been spring break, this road has been like a freaking ghost town.
I love it.
A ghost
I
town.
love it. Except for morning and evening traffic.
Well, that's understandable going to and from work.
But right.
Other than that,
it's been nice.
Town.
I know. All right, we're going back. And we're back, man. What are you doing, dude? Come on. We got anything?
I just shared something, sir.
What? And it probably takes 14 days for that person to know.
Wow. She don't have nothing to say.
You're an arse.
Oh, gross.
You mean an ace in the hole?
Arse.
So
no,
I don't want to cover this and make a big deal out of this.
But he's covering it.
Shh. Let me finish. I got to be very sincere when I say this. I don't want to make like a big deal out of this, and I'm not going to name the person. I'm just simply going to say, it was brought to my attention this morning that a friend of mine or a friend of
a friend,
a friend. I'm trying to find it because I wanted to read the information. Anyways, it just came to our attention. How about this? Let me word it this way. So there's a lady that's a local lady that owns a local magazine, and her boyfriend is in the biz of. I'm trying to find out if my wife left yet, so they can go upstairs. He is in a
she's getting aggravated.
Drug rehabilitation business.
Right.
So I'm going to try to get him to start calling into the show, and maybe try to get an interview with him as well. See if he wants to come into the show a couple times. But with this being said, this is going to be kind of paraphrasing what was told to me this morning because I don't have time to read all through this picture or through this Facebook page.
Just hit the highlights.
But apparently one of our friends, we're not like best friends, don't get me wrong, but it's a person that we know and really liked and respected and had no idea because we don't get nosy all up in their business. But has admitted having a meth problem.
Oh, wow.
And I've almost, and this is just kind of paraphrasing her. I've lost my marriage. I've almost lost my kid. I've lost my job. I this. And none of us ever in a million years would have known that she had any kind of problem like that.
What brought it to light?
I don't know. My wife was just saying, did you read that this morning where she discussed it? And I said, no, I had no clue. You would look at her and never, ever, ever suspect that there's a problem. You would never, ever, ever, ever suspect there was a problem.
But it's usually ones like that you don't.
But what I find really awesome in this is not one time has her ex-husband blasted her. Like, if you think about it, nobody could figure out why their marriage
fell apart.
Nobody knew. But what this proves to me is, A, she didn't plaster her business all over Facebook, which I agree with. You don't do that. And I love the fact now that I don't want to say the truth's coming out because I don't want it to sound like anybody's been looking into this. But what I'm saying is it's really cool to know that the ex didn't like slam her and throw her business out there like that. When me and Crystal have a problem, nobody really knows. I don't really talk to anybody. Like, I think Philip might have had a little conversation with me here and there, but I don't like slam my wife or dog my wife out because it's between me and her. Right. Because the problem is, and this is only an illustration, this is just strictly an illustration for people to be aware of. If I say to Philip, if I start complaining to my friend about my wife, that sheds a negative light of my wife on my friend.
Right.
From then out, anytime I say to him, say he was still single, and I say, hey man, let's go ride Saturday. Sure. And we make this big plan to go ride. And then I say, well, I'm not going to be able to go after all. Crystal says I got to watch the baby. Well, my friend that would now have this really bad negative light on my wife, the first thing he would have to say would be a negative reaction, a negative word. So then there would now be that weird wall between me and my friend, because it'd be like, well, I can't tell him this because he's going to want to dog my wife out for, if your wife wasn't a biatch, you could go ride. So I don't air my laundry like that, because I don't need my friends to have a negative outlook on stuff. And that's just an illustration. That never would happen anyways. Because A, I don't share my personal information like that, but B, it's just, you don't need to do that, because once you cause that stereotype or that wall,
it's always going
to be there. You'll never be able to get rid of it. So I just really admire the fact that neither one of these aired their laundry.
And that's the way it should be.
You know, when I go on Facebook, I've had people say, man, you sure say this a lot. You sure say this a lot. I say, do y'all realize how many people contact me? And I hear their stories, and then I turn around and share a story, and I either say, I deal with this, or I say others, or I say you. But what I'm doing is typing, trying to give people a look like, if you are having that problem, I have these same kind of problems. They just may be a little different, but we all have the same problem.
Right.
So a lot of people go, oh, man, you sure do talk about haters a lot. And I'm like, you do realize I'm an entertainer and you're just an average Joe.
But you don't realize, as far as like the haters go, until you get into your world.
Oh, yeah. You've now. Yeah. I like this. Look at this. She now eats her own words sometimes, because she used to pick on me
about his haters.
And now she's like, holy cow. Like she can see it firsthand now that sometimes it just happens. But, a lot of my personal stuff, I don't put on Facebook. I mean, if you're going to put personal happy stuff, that's one thing, but don't put personal negative stuff, because people will always remember you as that. Like we know a person, every time she gets pissed off, it's everywhere. It's all over Facebook. So it's just to the point now that when we see happy posts, we're just like, she's having a good day. And then all of a sudden you see a weird post, you're like, oh, hell, she's on a roll again.
Your dirty laundry's for the washing machine, not Facebook.
Well, it's bipolar Facebook. Like you're either
I'm really mad.
You're either happy or and then I call it catfishing, where people will post stuff making you ask questions.
Yes.
Like they purposely say, my day couldn't suck any worse. And that's all they say.
But then somebody,
please, because the first thing that's going to happen is Denise is going to go in there and go, oh my God, honey, what's wrong? Well, I'm just having a bad day. Denise types back, well, tell me about it. Well, that's what she wants you to type.
Right.
That's what I call catfishing, is they are just trying to hook you to suck you down into the pits of hell because they're in whatever miserable day they are. Don't send me a text message, say, oh my God, I got to tell you something. And then say, what? You got to tell me what? What do you want?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I just got damn ball and chain talking about my wife. And that's a joke, because that's Ravens, and he is exactly the Chris is the exactly no, he's the exactly same way with his wife. That's why I'm saying I didn't want to paint an image of him and y'all think bad of him, because he's making the joke about damn ball and chain, because he's all about his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, if
he
she's
just bought her a lake house.
That's what I'm saying. If he wants to ride on a weekday and she's out of town, he goes and rides. But if I say to him, hey, what do you want to do Saturday? He's like, my wife's in town. And when his wife's in town, it's let me check with my wife, because I want to spend my time with my wife. And that's him. I respect that.
You respect
it's
your wife
that's
or your
exactly
husband or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I used to get the same thing when I'd be like, let me ask David about it. And they're like, seriously, you're a grown adult.
Get his permission.
And I'm like, no, I'm not getting his permission. We respect each other.
Right.
And I mean, I've
said that to Crystal when I go, you can go do that, honey. I said, and I say it and when I say that, she says, well, I want to go off with the girls, whatever. I'm like, you can go do that. And I said, as I say that though, I said, I'm not giving you permission like that. I'm just saying it doesn't bother me if you want to go do that, because I can, mess around with a bike or whatever. So it's not the permission thing, but it is a respect thing. It's just is if you treat your person, I want to make it clear, if you treat your equal as an equal, then it makes the world a whole lot better.
I got a text a little bit ago. Good morning. Will you please let Scottie know that my post was not directed towards you, him, or Abby? have a great show. I'll be listening.
No, that was me just messing with her. But I did do that to bring up something else I wanted to talk about. So hold on, I was reading what Ravens has to say. He says, friends, if you look for ugly, you will find it. Mm-hmm. As friends, we are here for each other. I hope I can touch someone as so many have touched me. Okay, let me get that right. Look for the good. We are all so blessed. Thank you, Jesus. So
when did you get a boyfriend?
What?
I just got a text that said that you can have your boyfriend.
What the French toast are you talking about?
I don't know.
Who's that from?
Who do you think?
I don't know. Who is it?
Philip?
Oh.
He's jelly.
No. This just goes to show text messages and Facebook,
right,
which leads into what I was fixing to talk about with Karin. This leaves it so vague because since you don't know what he's talking about, he purposely set you up to type. He typed something,
right,
knowing it's going to make you repeat it over the microphone,
right,
which is going to make me have to explain it.
What it is.
See what I mean?
Right.
That's the crap behind Facebook I'm trying to get to. So in this case, he sat down one day to charge his phone. The only way, instead of him taking the cord and going to the other couch, he's sat in my wife's spot charging his phone. My wife comes home and goes, oh my God, Philip, what are you doing sitting next to my husband in his, in my spot on the couch? That's just like weird. You need to sit over there. So that's where Crystal started making jokes about your boyfriend. So again, he set you up.
Right.
Now in Karin's situation is exactly what I was talking about when people type something. But in this is kind of the opposite though. This is, how about when you type something and say I'm typing something and I'm 100% taking a jab at Abby, but I didn't put Abby's name to it. Mm-hmm. And then you start chiming in thinking it's about you. How many times, but it kind of falls back to, do you #guilty conscience much?
Right. That's my thing.
Because how many times have you read something and 5 or 6 of the other people jump in? Like the other day I did a video. I was talking about the patch guy. I just didn't want to name the patch guy. And in the middle of the video, I saw names popping up of other people that have kind of screwed me over. So I'm sitting here laughing because then I get text messages from these people.
Right.
Saying, well, man, I'm trying to get on it. I wasn't even talking about you. Guilty conscience much? Right. I wasn't even addressing you. I was addressing something else. But because I didn't name who I was addressing, the guilty conscience start coming out.
Yeah, I mean, if you start trying to defend or something, then obviously your shoes are dirty and don't be walking in my house with them.
And that's when I started laughing.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that. I've just went on ranting about something and somebody texted me and was like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
most of the time the guilty ones are the first people to bite.
Yep.
What my version of catfishing is, Mike's changed it up. Everybody else put their own words to it. But catfish are creatures that stay on the bottom of the lake. They eat all the nastiest crap. They're just bottom dwellers, scum. Yep. So what I call catfishing is I'll make a blank statement. And I'm telling you, 90% of the time, the people I'm addressing are the first people to comment.
Yep. Or like,
it is what it is.
When they comment, they're like, amen, I totally agree with you. Yeah. And it's like,
you do know I'm talking about you. And
I'm trying to think if I've commented on any of his stuff.
But I've had a situation.
Like.
I've had a situation for like the past month with a young lady I've been dealing with. And you can tell she's a little ill with me. And I'm like, I am direct. When it comes to business, I am very direct. There is zero emotion besides pissed off. I'm very direct. And then if you don't do what said agreement was, there's no happy, there's no sad. There's just pissed off. Right. Because I live a very, very fast-paced life. Like right now, this is no exaggeration. For the next 48 hours, basically, I can tell you what I'm doing almost minute for minute until Monday. Excuse me, that would be Sunday night. Hell, I can probably predict till next Tuesday. Because literally, I get done with the show, I have to change my clothes, I have to haul butts to a person I got to deal with after the show. Then I got to go see Joe Leaper. Then I got to get back here and I got to hit all my sponsors. Tomorrow I got to get done with the show. I got to haul butt to Marietta. Then I got to haul butt to Kennesaw, and then I got to get my butt back here and get ready for this weekend. Saturday is my only questionable, but I know Saturday I got to get ready for Sunday. I know where I'm going to be. No, but I mean, everything is business.
Throws the butts in there.
There is eat, drink, sleep, just fun radio. And people send me messages about something on Facebook. I don't even know. Dude, last night, look, it says 23 right now. That's 23 since 7 a.m. this morning. 23 alerts telling me to go to Facebook. I opened my phone last night to like 127 alerts.
Holy cow.
You know, my parents are like, why didn't you know about the family reunion? I went, because y'all didn't text me. What was on Facebook? I went, Jesus Christ. How old are you? Like, you knew what phones were before cell phones.
Right.
Call a brother. They're like, well, we had it on the page. We sent you an invite. I said, I get probably 1,000 invites a month to come all over the United States to work and do stuff. If you want me, just call me. Mama, just call me. Just hell, be cheaper and just send me a generic text. I love you. Have your ass at the family reunion.
At least you know that you get the text.
Exactly.
Not Facebook message.
But don't send me something on Facebook and think I'm supposed to always know about it. I mean, sometimes you got to just be direct. I'd rather be direct.
Right. I heard something on the radio with it being the last season of American Idol.
Right.
They shared a thing from like the first or second season when Ryan Seacrest was trying to step for step explain how to text in your vote for who is going to win. And it's just like now it's just a thing of the past. You had to like hit the second key like 3 times.
Right.
I got you. I just thought that was crazy. Funny.
So look, I want to cover this real quick. Kathy Bragg's listening. She was explaining to me I needed to go like Dustin's page. A lot of people, I discovered this, and she's not really giving me this information, and I just discovered it. But Dustin's personal page is now like Lee Bragg, and it took me a minute. She's typing direct in capital letters. Go like Dustin's page. So that's what I was getting at is his personal page now has changed a little bit as far as his name, and I didn't know that. Nobody told me. So I kept trying to tag Dustin in something the other day. I'm like, what the hell happened to his Facebook? So I typed in Bragg, and all the little, you're on your phone, and all these little pictures post and with these names. So I just keep clicking until I find Dustin. But now here's what I want to embarrass Kathy and say. So Dustin and her Kathy's 2 sons were in a John boat the other day, standing up fishing. A guy we know named Jeff was sitting in the middle of the boat fishing. So you got one of the Braggs at the front of the boat and one at the back of the boat. And they come up in our little cove, which is like a little cul-de-sac for anybody that don't know what a cove is. They come up in a little cove, throwing their little fishing lures and stuff. And my mother-in-law is, thank God, in the house with a closed window, yelling, "Take off your shirt!"
Are you serious?
Is this the one with the pink shorts?
Both of them.
Oh, wow.
And then Crystal walks to the sliding glass door, and Mama's like, "Hey, tell that one running the trolling motor, take off his shirt." And I'm like, I'm not yelling out to Dustin, take off your shirt. That will look a little weird. I'm just not going to do it. So that was really funny. And yes, they did catch 25 fish, man. They caught some good fish. I had to beg them not to come back and catch the monster that lives around my dock. It's bedding right now, and we need all the fish we can get because that lake's been so just underpopulated for years. And since the water's coming back up.
Catfish or bass or what?
Yeah, they got it. All they caught was bass that day.
Oh.
I mean, they caught a couple of crappie, but for years we didn't have any brim, bluegill, crappie.
Nothing.
All we had was bass and like a couple of catfish. Now, since the water drained down, and some of us were smart enough to not get out there and weed eat what grew up because there was no vegetation left on the bottom of the lake because they put in 30 some odd carp that ate everything. Well, then it became nothing but a dirt bottom pond. So our fish were just dying. There was no vegetation, nothing, period. So now when the cove was nothing but dirt, I didn't cut my side. My neighbor was out there weed eating. I'm like, no, I'm not weed eating nothing because when the water comes up, I want there to be vegetation. So now when they came up on one side of the cove, it's just dirt. You barely catch any fish. And I said, be careful when you throw your lures here because you're going to get hung up. But just know when you throw your lures there, there's fish. I call it a fish sanctuary. I weed eated the top of the water.
Just not the bottom, just the top.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all perverts. Y'all made that sound dirty.
You guilty conscience much?
Hashtag.
Did you
Hi.
just snort?
I did.
She did. She's a pig, don't you know?
Yes.
Woo-wee. He totally went there.
Well,
I know
she's a cop.
Guilty conscience much?
I know, right?
There's no guilty conscience. You're a badge toter. You're a gun sniffer, a holster sniffer.
Oh my God.
Well, I was until I reeled one in.
Real one. No.
Are we going back to
You
the
just-
fish
Isn't that called-
analogies?
As a cop, isn't that called entrapment?
I think so.
Yeah,
Double jeopardy.
I would definitely say there was some jeopardy involved.
We were talking about that yesterday. Yeah, double. You can't get
Okay,
charged
A
twice.
double mint.
double mint.
There's nothing minty about him.
I'm just gonna leave that
From
one
what
alone.
Scotty's told me.
Hey, what the hell? Like I know.
Well, it is your boyfriend.
No, that's your boyfriend. Are you yelling at yourself in the mirror? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
He says, "Shbda."
I've got from Jacob, Crystal's mom rocks. It was so funny though. She's yelling, take your shirt off. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, thank God the doors are closed.
Yeah.
And my wife's gone if you want to take them heathens upstairs. We're going to commercial. Here comes one of my favorite songs by Dustin. It's not an original, but to me, it is an original because I've heard the original and it friggin' sucks. This version is 10 times better. I used to think of my dad when I hear this song, but truthfully, after my grandfather passed away, and my grandfather's who did everything for me, so after that, I started thinking about it's more for my grandfather. So after this commercial, here comes Dustin Bragg. I sweat in that leather seat. My up to my butt.
Did you drug him?
I don't know.
Up too early? Oh, you always get up too early?
What?
Old.
I get her toenails fixed. You want to go do it? Yeah, I've got one. I got a motocross one, just for. The actual plastic. Problem is like I can hold 20 and 40 pounds like this, but I can't hold 5 pounds like this.
You're gonna be worn out Sunday.
Oh God. Can't make myself because it's just pushing right there.
It's the muscles that are sore.
I can't tell you the difference. That's the problem. I can't tell you the difference because the way that the signals are messed up in my mind. I mean, in the mind.
Right.
That's why I said I don't feel sore. I only feel pain, and that's where the problem begins. Is because that is my. I can't tell you how good that feels.
It feels a lot better. He fought it. No.
Back brace. Oh my God.
He's on his.
And yeah, man, this is all adrenaline. Yeah, baby. We're back.
Wired.
Yachting and whining about his back.
Man, I'm sore.
I was gonna ask if he wanted some cheese with that.
I've got to start. You know, I told my wife, she said, what can we do to make you feel better? I said, I need to put up a basketball goal. So what you don't realize is, even if you just go outside in the afternoon and play horse with your kids, you know what horse is? Not whores. Don't play kids. Don't do that with your kids.
Don't play kids with horse.
Don't do that. Mike, I'm telling you, don't play horse with nobody. You know, next thing you know, somebody gets an eye poked out and somebody's screaming. God. But you don't realize, and everybody forgive me because I'm like out of breath for a second because I was like sucking in my breath, putting this back brace on. You don't realize that when you're just playing basketball with your kids, you're moving left, you're moving right, you're bending over to get the ball. You don't realize how great exercise that is, and you're not even exercising. In your mind, you're not.
Right.
In reality, you are.
But you really are, and that's the reason I said, man, I'm gonna put a little basketball goal up. I'll just put it on the side of my deck. To me, it give me something to do. But as many basketballs come up in the cove, I have free basketballs too. But just saying.
I've noticed that, and they like randomly get up in your grass, and
it's because when the rain randomly gets up in my grass, the balls just wash up in here.
That was a crazy storm last night that just all of a sudden popped up.
I woke up to the dog raising hell.
I woke up to the alert.
12:36, man. That's when I woke up.
It hit us at like 1 o'clock or something like that. And my kids didn't even wake up. Usually they wake up with storms.
I was dead to the world.
You know how you get twofold what you did to your parents?
Yes.
Right.
I used to
get threefold
in the middle of my parents when it would storm. Like I love storms now, but I'm totally getting it with them.
And listen, just from Jake, he says, wow, I've not heard that game in a while. Makes me just want to go to the gym and shoot some hoops.
Do they have a lower basketball goal for him?
And then Alex, I know, right? People just don't want to play whores like they used to.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Alex, maybe you can get back into it or something.
Some people like Alex and Mike still play whores. They probably just go to two different parts of town.
Yeah, it's just not at the same time.
Alex is more an Alpharetta kind of girl. You know, Mike's more of a, Metropolitan Avenue, Stewart Avenue kind of girl. Wow. And what's funny is you change the name from Stewart Avenue to Metropolitan, and they still call it Stewart Avenue. I mean, you come up. A hooer is a hooer.
Oh, wow. He must really be in a mood today.
I see that.
Because he's left.
He's just like, wow.
He's on a roll.
He is a little vocal today.
Just a little.
Call in.
Heck no. He'll want to cuss while I hang up on him.
You can just edit
Wow. Single men get so offensive lately.
That's because he doesn't have a boyfriend.
Ooh, no, I didn't say that. That one's on you. I didn't say that.
Wow. You know he's about to like blast you
gonna-
out
That's
on
okay.
Messenger.
You're gonna
That's
you're gonna make me have to hang up on him if he calls in. Good
Oh
Lord.
my God.
Just poking that bear.
Poking the bear. So anyways, anybody got anything? Is there anything happening in the TMZ world? Like I've not really seen or heard anything about anything like.
Neither have I. I've been
Like, what are the famous people not doing? I mean, come on, y'all used to getting crap every day, and now nothing.
No, because all you hear about now is politics.
This is kind of funny. It's 8 things you should never say to a truck driver because, of course, we have a handful of.
Hold on, I got from Alex. Oh, good one from the female cop. All right, go ahead. The 8 things you don't say to a truck driver.
Yes.
Look, and then after that, let's look up like the 10 things you don't say to a cop when they pull you over. I think that's funny too.
I had somebody write on Facebook this morning that she got pulled over. She was like, "It's nothing like getting pulled over and arguing with the cop what color your car is."
Well, how about this?
Why
I got
don't we
pulled
just find
over.
something petty.
How about this? I got pulled over by a state trooper, right? A state trooper coming from Augusta. And here we were on I-20. Hold on. Sorry, I got to redo my belt. We're at I-20. I was exceeding the speed limit a tad.
Just a little bit.
And I was on the Superman bike. So
and they called up to you on the bike.
Well, I did slow down. I wasn't going to outrun a trooper. I mean, I probably could have the way I was riding, but this is several years ago. It's like 05. But how about this? I'd done all this custom work on the Superman bike, and he pulls me over, and he runs my VIN numbers, and then comes back and says,
"Is it stolen?"
He says, he says, "I believe this bike is stolen." I said,
"Oh, I was joking."
I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" He says, This VIN number is registered to a Kawasaki." And I went, "Yes, it's a Vulcan. It's a Mean Street." He says, "No, sir, that's not what this is. You've got a stolen bike. It's this registered. And I'm like, "Dude, I know what the hell I'm driving." Like he has me on video cussing him. I'm like, "You apparently can't read a friggin' VIN number. Go run it again. This is a Kawasaki Vulcan Mean Street." "No, sir, this is registered to a crotch rocket." "Excuse me?" He says, "It says it's a Kawasaki." I'm like, "This is a Kawasaki, dumbass.
It's not a crotch rocket.
It's not a crotch rocket." I made him run the VIN number 3 times until he finally ran the tag number 2 and then realized the first 2 times he had the wrong VIN number to begin with. Like he had all the right beginning numbers, but the last couple of numbers, he didn't have one of them apparently correct. But then after he ran them all, he kind of figured out he had it wrong.
Cops make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Really? She's dating one.
Yeah, that's true. A mistake?
Well, yes, I wasn't going to label it, but sure.
No.
Good morning, Philip.
He is listening. Don't make Hosby show up.
You mean he was listening?
Yeah. He's on his way over here now. So
he won't pound on the wall again. He's learned that lesson.
The 8 things that you don't say to a truck driver, and this is purely for entertainment purposes and should never be taken seriously. It's pretty sad when they have to start an article out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
Well, it's kind of like when I have to say the words, "All right, don't take offense to what I'm about to say."
And you know you're going to offend
Oh, and by the
somebody.
way, Jacob had typed a few seconds ago. I got to go back, and it says, Abby has officially been affected by the Kool-Aid.
You're sucked in.
Just a little bit.
So the first one is, don't you miss your family? And it says, well, no, I just enjoy being alone on the road for long periods of time and missing every single thing my children do.
Yeah.
The next one, oh, you drive a truck? Well, last I checked, I did, but maybe since you see me getting out of a big rig with a trailer attached, you just figured that out all on your own.
Right.
It's like one of those, here's your sign. Aren't you worried your woman or man might cheat on you? No, I don't cheat on her, so why would I worry about him or her cheating on me? I have much more important things to worry about than that. You must make a lot of money.
That's the funny one.
And it says, ha, 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 ha. You can't even make a comeback for this one because you can't stop laughing. Why are you late? Well, gee, maybe because I sat in a traffic backup for the last hour when I called your receiving line and nobody answered.
Yeah.
For the reefer haulers, not the reefer, but the
I'm waiting for you to
refrigerated
go there.
And people who don't know what this is, oh my God, you haul reefer? Is that illegal? Like, seriously? And again, you're laughing so hard you can't think of something to say. For the flatbed drivers, you call that a tarp job. And this is one of those awkward pieces of equipment that you can't wrap pretty like a Christmas gift. Oh, you just sit in your butt all day. Well, I love hearing people say that.
I get that one every day. I get people going, well, you don't even have a job. I'm like, you have no idea. Like, you go to work and you clock in and pretend to actually do something until you clock out. I never clock out. There's not a time card for what I do.
Okay.
No.
I'm the busiest broke bitch in town. I'm almost like Denise.
Too bad you don't have a sidewalk where you can work it.
What?
I don't have a sidewalk either.
No, you have a gravel driveway.
Okay, so this is 35 things not to say to a cop, and tell me if you've ever heard these.
And I was only insinuating being busy because you have 3 freaking kids, and you go to school,
and I have a job now,
and you have a job, and you try to do this, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I can't reach my license unless you hold my beer.
I've never heard that one. No.
Sorry, officer. I didn't realize my radar detector wasn't plugged in. Those are illegal, aren't they?
No.
What, radar detectors?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I thought they were.
No, only in Virginia.
And
how about this? You know, they make a radar buster. It will actually, I actually worked at a place that made radar guns and laser guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's funny is, as the guy, you know, we're running electrical for these equipment, right? And the guy says, hey, let me take you next door and show you this. So in the very same facility, just in 2 different sections, one is the lasers that they're making for the cops.
Right.
And then on the nether section is the laser busters that they're making for the people.
Is it scramble?
It's a scrambler.
Like it scrambles them?
Yeah, like I know a guy that's got one on a motorcycle. And it doesn't matter what gun gets pointed at him, you can't see how fast he's running. Not by legal measurements. All you could do is try to pull him over. And as a registered official police officer, you can say, I visually charge you with too fast for conditions. But he can't visually point out that you were speeding because there was no proof of it.
Right.
And these things cost about $1,000. But if you keep getting speeding tickets, I guess it's worth it.
Yeah.
But
well, how about you slow down?
I remember back in 2004, a buddy of mine had one that was about the size of a passport radar detector, and we went through Porterdale, and it was back before lasers, and it was just using X, Y, and K bands, I think it was. And we, right as we're passing the church coming from Covington into Porterdale, the guy's sitting there running radar, and he actually pulls us over down at the gravel parking lot. And Shane's like, what did I do? And the guy says, oh, nothing. I'm just kind of curious. And he says, what's that? He says, why couldn't I pick up your speed? He points to this little box. And the guy's like, wow, I'd never seen one. And he just starts carrying on as a cop, just carrying on conversation about how that thing works. And then his last words are, I got to get me one of those.
I had a state trooper.
But lasers, I don't know that they really can beat lasers right now. They said lasers, the technology with the lasers.
It's always changing.
Yeah, they keep changing it just for that reason. But again, if you knew the company that was always making the machine, but I mean, you'd be spending $1,000 a year to try to stay up and relevant with the actual scrambler.
I got pulled over by a state trooper.
Hold on, Alex says, too fast for condition is my favorite charge because it is a non-reporting. I got my driving in the go. I don't know what that means. But too fast for conditions, he went 3 points to 0. But that's just, I guess that's true. I don't know. I'd have to look. But too fast for conditions, is that not considered a moving violation?
It is.
So, but it's got to be better than speeding as far as points.
But you have to be able to justify what they were actually doing, like in this description part at the bottom of the citation.
And if you don't write it correctly, if they want to fight it,
throw it out.
Oh yeah, because it's like back in the day, hitting a parked vehicle in 1986, that was a charge. Is you know, if you hit a parked vehicle or hit a fixed object like a telephone pole. But then I know later on in the 90s, hitting a parked vehicle was thrown out. So, you know, like I remember as a kid when I got in a wreck, I got charged for hitting a parked vehicle, and that's what the wreck was. But then when 92 happened, I was backing out of my driveway and I tapped my neighbor's friend's car. He parked right in this blind spot that me and my neighbor had an agreement not to park there, but his buddy didn't know. So I backed in. I could have just pulled off, but no, I go knock on the door. I'm like, hey, tell your buddy Greg, I just hit his car, blah, blah. Well, the cop came out and said, I got to write you a ticket. Well, of course, I start raising hell. I'm like, dude, I was nice enough to tell him. He's like, yeah, but unfortunately, it was out of the driveway. If it had been in the driveway, I wouldn't have to write you a ticket.
Private property.
Right. He's like, but with it sitting on the county part, I got to write you a ticket.
Was it for striking a fixed object?
Well, he wrote for hitting a parked car.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that he just looked at me and was kind of like, would you shut up and let me write the ticket? And he wrote it so that it would purposely be thrown out of court.
Right.
But that's, afterwards when the camera was turned off and the lapel clip was turned off and everything, he said, dude, this ain't even law no more. Just take tickets and shut up. So, there's certain things. You might find a good cop every now and then.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
That's a joke.
They're few and far between.
So I actually was
y'all,
pulled
all
over.
you people think I'm a cop hater be thinking twice by the end of this week because my bike will be ready by the end of this week.
So I got pulled over on 20 by a state trooper, and he claims I was going 61 and a 45, which I wasn't. But anyway, I didn't even get it.
Wait, you got pulled over where?
On 20, kind of by like Ralph Road.
Wait a minute, Georgia 20?
Georgia 20.
Not I-20? I'm
No.
like, why are you doing 61 and a 45 on I-20?
No.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, because I'm like, huh?
No, over by like Ralph Road.
Okay,
Georgia
so
20.
but a trooper pulled you over, which
Yes.
is odd because you don't see too many troopers doing that a whole lot anymore.
So he pulled me over, and
Oh, your buddy.
yeah, he pulled me over and has said something. I didn't even get a ticket for the speeding, but then he was like, your window tint's too dark. And so he kept saying stuff.
By law, you should have giggled at him because you aren't were you in a car or in the van?
Truck.
Oh,
I
well,
was in a truck.
Well, then there's no.
No, but listen,
Because that's no. But what I'm saying is in a car, the window tint is none of the windows can be darker than 35% in a car.
Right.
But in a truck, which is a minivan, an SUV, or a truck, because those are all three truck frames. If you're in a truck, as long as your front driver and passenger window aren't darker than 35, the rest of them can be blacked out completely.
Well, I think it was the driver and passenger.
But that's the point, is if it's darker than 35%, which they don't make a 35%, so normally it's a 32% tint.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I'm just letting you know, because it's so funny how many people are screaming they've been pulled over for that, and it's like, you do know that's not illegal in a minivan.
Well, he had told me, he said, I'm not going to give you a ticket for it because
Give me
if
your phone
you
number.
See me driving around, mine are darker than this.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm just going to let you know that you'll probably get pulled over and told about it again. I mean, we never changed it, never got pulled over.
And I was going to say, nobody. Conyers, dude, I used to joke about this in the 80s. You didn't fart around in Conyers with window tint. Now they don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
But man, back in the day, you didn't fart around.
Yeah, but he was like, if you see me in my personal vehicle, it's a lot darker than this.
Right.
So he was
but
like,
he can
it's not right for me to give you a ticket.
Yeah, but it's legal for him though, because if he's a police officer and blah, 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 he can have it.
Right.
I know that's odd, but it just is the way it is. And I don't mean that to be crappy, but what I'm saying is a lot of times off-duty police officers still have to carry their uniforms hanging up in the back seat. They have to carry other stuff in their back seat, and they do not need people seeing everything. Like when before my brother retired, in his personal Dodge truck, he owned a little hanger that's in the back window. He had his jacket that said Sheriff's Department on it, and his sheriff actually sent a memo out to everybody and said, either tint your windows completely black or pull your gear down so that it can't be seen while you're driving down the road, because there had been people taking pop shots with guns, shooting.
Makes you a target.
Yeah, makes you a target. And they were saying that there was people that had been like shopping at Walmart or something and come outside and their windows are smashed in or their car's keyed just because they had a jacket that said Sheriff's Department. So it makes you a target. So that's why I want to be real clear when I said because he can get away with it. I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
I'm just trying to say that because he's a police officer. Yeah, that's why he needs it. Because to know, my brother said that he was driving down 316 one day and somebody's taking shots with a 22 at his gun. At his truck. And all he was doing was driving down the road. But you could see this yellow raincoat with the reflective, it was like black letters trimmed in reflective silver or something. And yeah, it's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So I just felt like I needed to explain that.
Other things not to say to a cop. Aren't you the guy from the Village People?
Yeah.
Hey, you must have been doing 125 to keep up with me. Good job.
I know, right?
I thought you had to be in relatively good physical shape to be a police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would go over really well with
like I'll get my license. Can you hold my beer?
Right.
I was going to be a cop, but I decided to finish high school instead.
Wow.
Bad cop, no donut.
Yeah.
You're not going to check the trunk, are you?
Yeah.
Gee, that gut doesn't inspire confidence. Didn't I see your butt kicked on cops? Okay, these are kind of stupid.
So I just got a text from somebody that says, my windows are all 25% because of all the drugs and guns in there. I can't afford to lose those.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But you know what? If you think about it though, that's one of the easiest things that you can pull a car over for.
What, tint?
Window tint.
Well, it's okay. It's just
and you
like
could pick stuff up on it.
Well, it's just like motorcycles. Right. City Alpharetta, probably 2 summers ago when they started enforcing, I think the number is either 15 or 18. It's considered I think the way it's worded is like 15 something checkpoint or whatever. And what it is they see that you're not wearing a DOT helmet. That's their justification for pulling you over.
Right.
And once they get you over, they can run the checkpoint, which means how much tread's on your tire. Or is your headlight mounted at the right height? Do you have front and rear turn signals? Do you have a light that lights up your tag?
Kind of like a DOT inspection when you get pulled over.
Exactly. Are you running baffles? They can have like
what is that?
Baffles is what makes a muffler or let's say exhaust pipe on a motorcycle a little less loud. And you're not supposed to run open baffles. That's against DOT policy. So they can take a piece of broomstick or a piece of 2x2, something that has an edge to it, and run it in there. And if they feel that your pipe's completely slick and it doesn't get hung up on the baffle, they can write you up for that. Mm-hmm. If you don't have back passenger, if you have a back seat and you don't have like back passenger pegs, I mean, there's all sorts of little stupid things that they're trying to get you for.
Yep.
And it's not it's part of the law.
They're just enforcing the law.
They're just enforcing the law. Hell, if Rockdale County alone enforced the traffic violations, they could afford 3 new police cars. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's any county. But right. Henry County, a buddy of mine is on the motorcycle unit, and he sits on 675 and 75, and he runs radar all day long. Right. How do you think they pay for all this stuff, man?
If you look for the little stuff.
Look, the city of Brazelton, the reason Brazelton is doing so awesome is because of the drugs. Their traffic unit finds so much drugs coming up and down 75.
And if you think about it, you really don't have to catch them with radar or laser.
That's right.
People don't think about,
the idiotic see the normal stuff.
Right. My tag light. Yeah. You can be put to the curb for
if
that.
you sat right here, you didn't even need a radar. You could still get all these people for too fast for conditions. That would give you the legal reason for pulling them over. Reckless driving, passing on a double yellow. I mean, there's no telling how many people pass around each other. I wish I could just run video camera 24 hours a day.
I was helping when a couple weekends ago we were helping Corin move, and I had missed her driveway, and so I went down a little bit further and went to go turn left onto a street to turn around. And this idiot was up on my butt. And right as I was about to turn left, she passed me on the left. And I was like, I should have just damn hit her.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Did you just say that? All right. Yes. We got to shoot off the commercial. And
bang, bang. We're talking about guns.
This next song really goes out to what we're joking about the violations and the speeders and everything else. We'll be right back.
Ow, 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 ow. My hair was caught. Accidentally. For some reason, my phone said I was calling my husband, but I was calling ex-husband's wife.
Wow.
Oh, so I got it.
Okay.
Got one. I don't know where I put it.
You have.
Yeah, but not all of them fit the same. I've got one that's got a pad right there that pushes. It literally is like pushing a button, and you'll see me stand straight up. But it is friggin' awesome. I wore it.
Is that what causes or caused a lot of your nerve damage?
That's what. Your nerve that travels down your spine.
You're talking about the sciatic nerve.
Yeah, that's what it is. Goes left and right at 5. Well, my disc, when it blew out, it hit that nerve.
So can they not go back in to your L5 and put like the fake
technology now? But at the time, that wasn't legal. They hadn't legalized it. But the other problem is the guy that did the surgery, when he went in second surgery, he hit the nerve.
So even if they went and put, there's no.
Not at this point. It's like that.
He's like, I'm mean to that.
Over it.
Me.
Where are you? I was about to walk in. Ah.
There. Up for you. Just for you. Where in the world does he just like randomly have these random thoughts? It's like,
And it just keeps going.
It's like
it's on one thing and like.
I'm like, where'd this come from? After how many years of being here in America?
So, Austin had and she didn't get a picture of it. You put the sun on the side of the box. I mean, he wasn't doing good down here as far as school. After only being there for 5 weeks, a couple weeks ago. And that's off of his mouth. It'll be between the three of us. As far as like me, him, and the doctor. Talk to the doctor and was like, I've already had this conversation.
Where went we?
Never.
Thanks.
Got me a fat man. Spanx ain't gonna help this bag.
I've never said anything on this.
No, don't. Yeah, but seriously, that other one's got like a sponge about that big or pad. It's got a weird shape to it, so it touches the top of where my incision is, water at the bottom. But it literally, because if you do that and touch my scar, it friggin' kills me, even to this day. Because that's where all the hurt is in the scar tissue and stuff. But as a whole, when it does that,
like a barrier.
Yeah, it literally pushes me. You'll see me stand up straight. As crazy as that.
How long ago was that?
2002. Look, I'm saying this on camera. I'm in worse shape than I tell people. My wife knows. Nobody else knows. Like nobody has any idea how bad my brain. I tell people that I suffer from the same thing Muhammad Ali. People don't. Me and Brian Eubanks can carry on a conversation. He does too. He was blown up. My problem is I've had way too many concussions. I mean, I've literally been told,
well, yeah,
you can't have any more. I mean, I've been told point blank, you can't have any more. So that's one reason. Thank God I had a DOT helmet on when I wrecked in front of the field. I smacked it. Smacked it good.
You could see on the back of the helmet.
You can see it on the helmet. But that's another reason y'all now are seeing me buying protective gear and putting on different helmets.
Like now, since you told me, anytime that the bike goes down or whatever,
let go of it. But now getting protective gear and stuff, I know just like
gloves, like you were talking about, that protect, even if it leaves my fingers out, but just protect this.
Yeah, because if you get that,
there's no
replacing
that.
Yeah, right.
There's no replacing it. I'm sorry. And yesterday,
you have a butt hand.
I know, right?
I was trying to. Yeah, but you'd never be able to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to by squeezing hard with your hand, but you would never be able to do that again. That right there, you could never do again because that skin grips. This doesn't. That's why this does this, because it doesn't. It's different. And if it makes me the old man on the bike, I don't care. I want to live. That's why I'm going. That's why I'm getting this gear. I know in my mind you can wreck at 25 just as easy at 55, but hitting the ground at 25 is different than hitting the ground at 55.
Like in the car, you hit.
Before we leave, remind me to show you my jacket I got upstairs. It's $129 I got from a guy brand new.
Speaking of jackets, you hadn't talked about the dead guy's was.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Well, I got a guy that got in a wreck, BMW, and had on a jacket, which is just like the one he sold me. And it ripped this. But he says if it wasn't for that, he would have been destroyed. So he bought a second one. And then after he bought it, he wore it 2 or 3 times trying to ride again and decided he didn't want to ride no more. So he sold his bike and sold the jacket. So the jacket's $129 before taxes. Like Mountain Motorsports has it for $140. I paid $72 for it, and it's brand new. I mean, it still even has one of the tags on the side of it. It's so brand new. But it's a net that the air will still blow through to wear in the summer, but it'll take that road. That Harley jacket y'all see me wearing, it just looks like a nylon jacket. But it's designed to take that road. It's designed
to take it.
I've already wrecked. That made my 4th motorcycle. I just don't know.
Let's talk about that. What we were.
Which part?
The suit.
And we're back. I apologize. I had to go find a back brace, man. My back is so sore this morning. And anybody who's watching video, you get to see the behind the scenes stuff and listen to conversations that we don't typically we don't typically have in front of everybody.
Who's typically, and why do you have her on your mind?
Yeah. But why is it? Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Because if I throw the ball, you're going to take a swing at it. So how about this?
Catfish.
We've been talking about how I'm stepping it up a little bit since my last little hoorah with the asphalt. And, I bought a jacket that's called a mesh. It's called mesh, a mesh material. It's called a textile mesh because it can take the abuse of hitting the road and it not be your skin. So Buddha came over a couple nights back on a Saturday night, and we got on the bike. We was on the bike that morning, and he had on just this little thin frog jacket, which is actually a raincoat. It's not really to keep you warm, but if you're riding in the rain, it keep the rain off of you. Later that night, he needed a coat. Well, I reach over and I grab this coat of mine that's probably about a $350 coat if you had to buy it. We talked about it the other day. So now, since it fits him, and he's such a large guy, he has a hard time finding coats. He definitely don't want to spend $350. So I said, look, I'll sell it to you for the deal I got on it. So I sold him the coat. Bottom line is now I needed to replace it. So I found a young lady that's selling a suit, but it's a pants and a jacket, but you wear it as a suit. So I get on the phone with her, and she's like, I hope you know what size this thing is. My son was 6 foot, about 220. I said, well, I got that beat. She said it was a little big on him. I said, that's perfect. I've been researching this particular brand and the size, and I need to lose weight anyways. So the key is I didn't notice the word was in this conversation. So she starts saying that, in the picture, you can see it was really wrinkled, but that's because it's been rolled up and packed up for the last couple of years. Blah, 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 ever since her son's death. And then in my mind, I hear skid marks. Excuse me? What? Because in my mind, I'm like, do you go buy a deceased man's gear? Like, if the gear's in good shape, means he didn't pass away in the gear, but then it makes you want to ask, did he get hit on a motorcycle? But you don't want to ask. So what was the word you asked me earlier? How did you word it?
Couple?
No, maybe one of y'all said it. Like radio etiquette.
Oh no, motorcycle etiquette.
Motorcycle etiquette. Is it motorcycle etiquette to not buy
etiquette.
Rider etiquette is how you said it. A deceased person's gear. And I'm like,
even if they weren't wearing it.
I don't know. That's never been talked about.
So we need people to call in.
Any riders have an opinion on this. We've never talked about this before. This is like it's own topic, its own everything. Look, Jacob just types he's I don't know. Did he type that backwards? Oh no, he's talking about something else. Never mind.
No, they're talking about some woman that passed away like 3 years ago.
Okay, that means I don't know.
That doesn't mean anything to you.
It doesn't mean anything with this conversation.
No.
Okay.
No, so call in 678-760-1556 and let us know what you would do in that situation.
Yeah, would you like if I was to die? And Joe Leaper was to be like given my gear, or Snow given my gear. That's different because you know me. You know what I'm saying?
But just a random person.
It's like, do you do that? I don't know. It's never been talked about. I've never had this conversation. Like the lady's like, yeah, my son was. It didn't click. But then when she said then it was like, oh my God. I don't even want to say the D word again. I mean, he just, it's just such a, do you do that? That's just like such a weird thing. And I guess it's really not, because she's going to sell it to somebody, but it's that thought, you know?
It's like purchasing a house that's
okay. I got, you're helping the deceased guy stay in the wind. So it carries on what the guy liked to do. And I get that to an extent. I do get that. Like I said, I've never been faced with this before. It's kind of an odd thing, but I got to be up there tomorrow after the show to get the gear. So
you are getting it?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, it's nearly.
So why are you even asking?
It's nearly $600 worth of gear. Hell yeah, I'm going up there. I mean, it's a heck of a deal. And a motorcycle guy would help another motorcycle guy, you know, so it just happens to have the D word involved.
But that was a good thing. You're helping them continue riding.
Yeah. Well, and I'm helping her surrogate. And if I don't buy, somebody else is. I mean, you know. And it is a hell of a deal on the gear.
I mean, at least she let you know ahead of time that
he
is deceased.
And you found out from you didn't find out from.
And see, now I have the mesh jacket for me. In Kennesaw, my cousin Dooney picked up a Harley Davidson mesh jacket for Crystal. So now Crystal has it. So we both now have of course our DOT half helmets. We have our DOT 3/4 helmets, our DOT full face helmets. We both have mesh jackets. I'm going to get the cold weather /rain/highway gear tomorrow. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to be set to do anything I want to go do. But next is the Joe Leaper special, the Cena 20S's. I got to convince all my other people to buy those, like Philip Snow and I got to convince Ravens Renovation. Let me pull this bad boy up. It's an intercom system that will tie into your Bluetooth phone so you can listen to your phone. But you also can talk between 10 riders, I believe it is.
Cool.
Oh yeah, it's bad to the bone. It's a Bluetooth headset that allows the driver and the passenger to talk. But at the same time, it allows, like, say I'm on one bike and Philip's on one bike, or I'm on one bike and Joe's on one bike, or there's 9 of us going on a trip to, you know, somewhere in Tennessee, that we can all communicate via the headset.
How comfortable are those inside of a helmet?
You wouldn't even know that they're there, really,
so
because it's not. Yeah, it's not against your ear. There's a good illustration. See, that goes in the.
It's in the.
There's already a padding that's opened up for your ear.
Right.
Anywho's, and the speaker is just inside that padding as well.
Go back into that.
Hold on.
It's not.
So here's a bottom picture of what it would look like. This mounts on the outside. That snaps off and plugs in USB and charges when you're not wearing it. Tech talk.
Hey,
What's happening?
I just want to get on here real quick
and say that this is random, by the way.
Yes, random.
That
nice
nobody cares.
Nice to meet you, random.
Nobody here. No. Nice to meet you too. This is America.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Anyway, I know you're out there listening, buddy. But this is America, sir.
Oh God.
And nobody cares about Margaret Thatcher. Okay, so just quit crying in your Cheerios already and get back to work, man.
Just you, darling.
Barack Obama needs his money. All right.
Oh my God. All right, bye. So, anyways, on a 3/4-inch helmet, that's what it'll look like. Duh.
She's not paying attention.
That's
well,
what
I know.
I
saw the other.
I know. I was showing you because you were asking a question about the earpiece.
Okay, you would not even know.
So
it was
you
there.
don't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't even really know it's there. It's got, noise canceling.
So you don't have to yell.
Well, because when you're in half shells, my wife can lean forward and she's whispering right in my ear. Well, it's not whispered, but I can hear her. But the problem is when, like the other night we're riding and you had that 3/4 helmet on and the face shield pulled down. So imagine if you're in a full face, it's even worse. But she can't talk to me because now I'm having to actually turn my head to put the front of my face, the cheekbone area, towards her mouth, which means I'm not looking straight.
And you might hit a turtle in a half shell.
Yeah, leave the non-rider to come up with a joke such as that. So anyways, yeah, the problem is these puppies.
I ride on the back of the bike.
Yeah. There's a difference between a rider and a rider. You are definitely a passenger.
Oh my
That's
Lord.
for sure.
That's okay.
But there's the going rate a piece.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Hey, wow. Do you get multiple?
Can you say that again?
Do you get like a discount if you buy a bunch of them?
Buy a bunch of them, like it's not like buying a 6-pack of beer. Is that what you're
I'm saying? Because if you have,
but look,
like,
there's the price.
Riders,
there's the price right there if you buy a set.
If you're an Amazon Prime member.
But I'm saying,
the set right there for a set is $365.
That's just 2.
Okay.
Just 2.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
No, he doesn't.
Are you saying if I got so hold on? So if you're basically saying which would 10 people,
right?
So it'd be 5 sets if you want to go that route. And I say to somebody, hey, I'm willing to buy 5 sets if you're willing to knock me a price. Yes. You might find a private seller like a Horizons or somebody that
can't do it.
That would be Horizons might do that, but I doubt that Amazon would give you a break if you buy 5.
Gotcha.
But if you buy a single, it's $232. If you buy a dual, it's $365. So of course it's smarter to just buy a set.
Right.
And that's my next purchase, by the way. So, and I researched.
Not on the bike. Just walk around with your helmet on.
Yeah, you literally could drive a car with this as well. The cool thing is like Travis will be behind us. Travis could call me on the phone.
With the helmet on?
With his cell phone, fool. And all I'd have to do is hit answer and carry on the whole conversation with him as we're driving.
I can see him now driving the van with his helmet on.
Don't think for a second he wouldn't try it.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
I mean, is there a way to attach it to your head if you don't have your helmet on?
No.
How far away does it go?
I don't even know. It says up to 1.5 miles.
That's 1.2
miles.
Not 1.5.
Sorry.
You're 0.3 of a mile short. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
You're really
That makes
short.
all the difference.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. My uncle used to say, 3 more inches, I'd have been a king. 3 less, I'd been a queen.
Wow.
Alrighty then.
I just had to throw that out there. That was that was too funny.
Did he really say that?
Yes, he used to say. No, I just made it up.
Well, you do a lot.
I do that a lot. Oh my God, listen to you. Okay.
My dad's leaving on a 10-day cruise today. I'm so mad.
That was kind of random.
It's because he just texted me. He needs me to call him.
Oh my God.
Where's he? Where's
he going?
A bunch of different. I don't know. It's on the.
I love that. He's going a bunch of places. I don't know.
A bunch of tropical places, and then he's going to Jersey.
How about Ravens looked at me yesterday and says, man, I really want to go to Memphis. I said, dude, I really want to go to Memphis too. I'd love to get a picture of like my bike in front of Graceland. That'd be cool. But Philip has not gone on a ride like this before. Jeff hasn't in forever. Truthfully, I haven't. Like the last time I rode to PC was, I don't know,
politically correct
3 years ago.
Right.
So I've not even ridden, a 5+ hour ride lately. I said I would rather us not be 8 hours away. Like, Memphis, if something happens in Memphis, we're 8 hours away from being home.
Right.
I said I would rather shoot into Tennessee on the first day or the second day and be in Chattanooga the next day and then shoot back into Georgia and end up in Hiwassee. So at least if something happens, we're no more than 4 hours away.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. We can plan us a trip to Memphis, but let's let a lot of the people that haven't done these kind of rides kind of get back into the swing of doing these kind of rides.
Swing in.
Philip says, I've ridden to Valdosta by myself.
You want a cookie?
I know, right?
I'm not touching that one. I'm just throwing that out there.
From Scottie?
I'm just throwing that out there. I was just trying to be
okay.
I was trying not to point fingers and say Jeff Matthias has not ridden motorcycles like that in a long time. So I was trying to
be. You were fussing earlier about being direct.
I was trying to be nice and not hurt people's feelings.
Who?
Gosh.
Who?
Their left feeling
or the right?
So I was
the right one's okay.
Just trying to be nice.
Mr. Direct.
Scottie being nice.
I said when you're doing business, you got to be direct.
You're always direct.
You're always direct. It doesn't matter if it's business or not.
Golly, y'all some biatches today. Y'all been drinking from Alex's Kool-Aid apparently, because this morning, is this Man Pond Tuesday?
It must be.
He gets on and the funny thing is.
But at least you said I'm sorry.
No, it's Tampax Thursday.
Thursday.
He gets on a roll and then we'll change the subject and he's still just going for like 10 minutes.
That's why when Jacob typed something a little while ago, I was like, does that have anything to do with me? And I was like, it has nothing to do with me.
No.
Also, don't forget to go like the Dustin Bragg page, dude. And that goes to Denise as well.
I did.
I haven't. I guess I haven't. Hell, I don't know. I got told this morning that I hadn't. So everybody go to Dustin Bragg's Facebook page and like the Dustin Bragg page. I didn't know that I didn't.
I did like it. How is it unliked?
That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't know that I didn't.
That's why. No, I know I did.
I know I've liked it. Look, I know I've liked that page. That's the same page that he's had. I liked that a long time ago.
Right, and then I had to like it just now because it said I unliked it. I didn't unlike it.
Are you supposed to like and share again?
I don't know, but that's the same page that we've liked before. I don't understand. It's a Facebook faux pas.
What
I don't
was
know.
that?
He went. I can't.
So anyway,
do it again.
And see, look, see, Lee Bragg. He has changed his name. And see, that's what screwed me up. So I didn't know who that picture was. Look, it's a dude sitting in camouflage pants. I didn't know who that was. I had to click on all those pictures till I could find it.
That's why he's in camouflage, so you don't know who it is.
So you can't seize them?
Why did he change his name?
It's probably a middle name.
So it's not the same?
It is the same.
No, I'm saying
he has two personalities.
So that he has his personal page.
I don't know. Is there any water in the refrigerator, Stephanie?
I'm gonna freaking hurt you.
You're gonna fracking.
So
hey, do we got anything else? Let's see what's going on TMZ today.
No, I gotta.
You haven't brought.
Are you okay?
The little
I gotta go
booters
make
yet.
a phone call. I haven't been up to Gravity
Why
to get one.
not?
Because I work.
You
now.
what? What's that?
I know, right? Soon, honey, you'll know.
I know, right?
One day.
One of
if
these
everything
days.
goes right.
Okay, I'm gonna go make the phone call real quick.
Who are you calling?
My father before he leaves.
Oh yeah, the guy who's leaving. Hey, if he's going to Jamaica, tell him to bring you back a pound. That's a joke.
You already have.
Does he drive a reefer?
Or a flatbed.
Or a flatbed.
No, it's a step deck.
She's definitely talking lingo we don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
She's a trucker's wife. Well, that might explain the smell. The smell of diesel in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honey, you sure do smell good. Where'd you get that perfume? It's $1.19 down there at the truck stop.
Is it that cheap again?
I don't know. I'm making a joke. No, it's probably not. I saw like regular gas the other day.
It's back up.
Yeah, man. I'm like, really? How did that happen? And we were in Griffin, and it was even more pricey than what it was here in Conyers. I don't know why. Yeah.
This is some good Kool-Aid, by the way.
Hey,
Thanks
watch out.
sharing.
When you start drinking the Kool-Aid,
I know.
You start having misfortunes in your life. So what's going on in your world?
Nothing really. I've been babysitting a 17-year-old.
I was going to ask you about that yesterday. Like, what's going on?
Oh, no, it's his spring break.
Oh, and he chooses to hang out with you?
I guess he just wanted to hang out, sleep on the couch, watch movies, Netflix and chill.
Wow. Netflix and chill with your dad's girlfriend.
I guess.
That could be taken really strange.
I know, right?
That could be taken just absolutely strange.
Well, his girlfriend is in Florida, so.
Oh, well, sucks to be you.
I know, right?
I know we're laughing. Ashley's in Florida with her family too, or babysitter.
Yes.
So we're sitting here talking about that because of Bike Fest and all. She says, "Hey, I'll be back, late Saturday. So if I need to watch her Sunday," and I'm like, "Well, I've got Bike Fest, and Crystal's off work, so at least she'll have the baby." But
speaking of Bike Fest, Sunday, what time Sunday?
Sunday.
Not at 10 o'clock when it starts.
Who are you asking? Are y'all asking me what time you and Philip wanted to be there?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, because he has off that day. And I don't know if he's talked to you.
I did the count because to me, I have to count backwards. So if I have to have music live at 10, that means I need to have music live by 9:45.
Right.
Which I know is going to take a good hour, puts us at 8:45. And that's only setting up the gear. We still got to move the bus, the caution tape, the electrical cords. So if that takes us to 8:15, maybe.
Right.
So I told Travis I need to be there at least by 8:15, just to be on the safe side. So he's gonna be here by like 7:30.
Okay.
So then that's because we're leaving here at 7:30 because we stop at Quick Trip, get our snacks, and then head on down. So.
Well, I don't know if he was just gonna ride the bike. That's why I was asking.
Right. And I'm riding the bike too. So Travis was going to drive the bus.
I'm sure he is gonna ride the bike.
Yeah, because my wife has said since she's actually going to be off that day for the first time ever for Bike Fest, that we have to compete in the games, which unfortunately means Waterhead is going to be gloating his arse off because he will be messing with me and making jokes about having to compete with me and all that sort of stuff. I'm actually digging up his number because I know he's probably not listening, so we're going to give him a shout real quick and pick on him a little bit. And I don't know that it's really picking because he's very good at these games. Me, on the other hand, I've never been able to do them. So, I can't say whether I'm worth the crap or not. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not. I'll just go ahead and air it because some of these games involve a lot of balance. And if the person on the back doesn't know how to balance, it doesn't matter how good the rider is.
Right.
The rider has to be just as good as his passenger.
Right.
So, and actually the rider actually has to probably be better because he has to compensate for any motion or movement. Like my wife tried to do. Hey, man, this is DJ Scottie.
Hey. What's up, bud?
Are you able to talk?
Yeah.
So I was bringing up the fact that I'm easing into this conversation gently.
Oh, Lord.
I was
on air.
Yes, you are on air.
Of course.
So my wife is requesting, since this is her first time that she's going to be off for Bike Fest.
Her first time.
That I have to compete in the bike games. And I said, Waterhead is going to eat this up because
dang right.
Listen, I said he is going to gloat and want to compete against me on a lot of these because I've never been able to. I said, but I'm at a disadvantage because even if you are a good rider, you're still no better than having to have the person on the back because the back person, if they're not balanced correctly, they can mess up your balance, which means you as a rider even have to be better.
Right.
Because you have to compensate for the motion on the back. So I figured I would just call you.
Wait a minute. Let me stop you right there.
Correct him.
Here comes the gloating, y'all.
You just hush for a second. And listen here. You on your high horse. Now.
Get him.
I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead.
Think about this, though. Think about me when I'm doing the 2-up biker games. Now, and this is no disrespect to my wife. She's taller than me, man.
That's true.
She's a corn-fed country girl. Crystal weighs what? $1.25?
Yeah.
You've already got the advantage, man. This is horse crap.
Yeah, but you've been doing it for years. I haven't. I've never competed in any of the games.
You know, it was actually funny. When Karen and I first started dating, like our first kind of weekend that we got away, I took her to a friend of mine's motorcycle event down on LaGrange, Georgia. And she had never been on a bike. I mean, she'd like ridden her uncle's bike around the neighborhood with him when she was a kid. She'd been on a dirt bike a couple times when she was a kid. For the most part, she'd never been on a motorcycle. And I literally, on a Saturday morning, I throw her on the back of my bike and we're gone for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And
that's something.
But we got all the way down to LaGrange and went to this little motorcycle rally, and the same type deal where they were having these biker games. They had like 5 of them, and me and her won 4 of them the first weekend we rode together.
Wow. Isn't that cool, though?
That's awesome.
Oh, it is cool. I said, that's it. I'm going to marry you.
Yeah, and then on top of that, when he married her, they jumped on the bikes. And how many days did you go, and where did you go? I would rather you tell it.
Well, we got married in Savannah on the beach. We rode the bike to Savannah to get married and met everybody down there. And then after we got married, we spent 11 days on the bike, went all the way down to Key West. We went down the east coast to Key West. And then after we spent a few days in Key West, we went down the east coast of Florida, come back up the west coast of Florida.
Holy cow.
Isn't that just something?
Was gone for 11 days.
That would be super cool. And I'm trying to get my bike set up. And I didn't even think about mentioning to you. I mean, you do so much family stuff, but as guys, and I don't mean this to sound bad, my friend Jeff has worked, and a lot of people are tired of hearing me say it, but he's worked 25 years, basically 6 days a week, and his company's closing down. So he said for the first 6 weeks, he said he wasn't doing nothing. So I opted to say, hey, let's do a trip. So we're like going to get on the bikes, and it's just a guys, kind of a little wild hogs, middle-aged men kind of thing. We're going to go to the Jack Daniel's distillery.
Wait a minute. Are you the William H. Macy character?
Well, you know, everybody's debating on who is who, by the way. I just said there will be no gay moments drunk, naked in a pond on the side of the road. There will be none of that. Travolta. I don't know what I am. I'll be the black guy. I'll be Martin. I mean, you know, but we just thought it'd be kind of cool. So we're going to go like Wednesday night and get started and come home on Sunday. So we're making a little trip.
Very cool.
You know, it'd be real cool. I'll fill you in on it come Sunday. I won't waste everybody's time talking about it, but I just wanted to mess with you a little bit about the whole.
I'm actually in Destin, Florida on my motorcycle right now.
Are you? What are you doing? Are you on vacay?
Well, kind of, sort of. My mom lives down this way. She had surgery Tuesday, and I took Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off at work, and I rode down yesterday morning, spent a little time with her, and then I'm coming back home tomorrow. Okay, that's really cool. I'm actually getting my bike. Hence the reason I reached out to you the other day talking about exhaust, because I'm getting my bike set up to do a little more traveling, and like my exhaust is basically straight duals, and even though there's a baffle in them, they're still pretty damn loud, and they're not bad when you're tootling around town, but man, that's 65 to 75, 80. When you're like a steady 75, that roar, man, it just gets on my nerves. Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you know.
That's one thing about the old bike that I had, the one that we actually took to Key West.
Yeah.
I actually, before we went to Key West, I knew we were going to be on it for so long, and plus, you know, riding long periods of time at high speed too.
Yeah.
I actually changed out the mufflers before we went to Key West.
Yeah.
And made them a lot quieter. And then when we got back,
put them back on. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm actually considering, instead of selling my slip-ons, I'll probably just set them on a shelf. So if I ever want to put them back on, but I've got to do something, because it's just, it just kills me. But all right, brother.
Which bike is this you're putting them on though?
My Road King.
Oh, okay.
You keep forgetting I have one because you hadn't seen it. You hadn't really ridden with me since I've had it, but we've both been pretty busy.
But I knew you had Heritage for a little while too. But
I got to sell it.
I've actually got a set of Heritage pipes at the house.
Okay.
But they won't fit the Road King.
No. And I've still got their Heritage just sitting in somebody's garage, kind of like my tools at your shop. I made a really good deal with Waterhead. I'm like, hey, man, if I bring my stuff and leave it here, can I? And you can use it. He's like, and you have a welder? Sure, bring it on over.
Exactly.
And then he did some stuff. He used my saws and stuff. I'm like, shoot, just use whatever you want.
Yeah. Hey, you know, that welder's actually come in handy. I found out I can weld anything except a broken heart. and I've got a rod for that.
Oh wow!
That was
I
really.
don't think they make.
Hey, Waterhead, that was really deep.
So listen, let me give you. I'll tell you. You should tell this to one of Kelly's boyfriends because I said this to Emmy's little boyfriend once. I said, listen. You've never seen a pissed off biker until you piss me off, because I will take a piece of round rod and put it in the end of your wiener, and we will weld it to the trailer hitch of my truck. And he was just like, that's a little weird. I went, try it and find out.
No, the best thing I always like to tell them is, anything you do to her, I'm going to do to you. And trust me, I'm a little older, I'm a little bigger.
Yeah, that's right. And let me just show you the goat before you leave tonight.
Exactly. That was bad.
All right, brother, let me get out of here. We will see you bright and early Sunday morning then, sir.
Absolutely. Just give me a holler, man.
All right, man.
Be good.
We'll see you later.
See you then.
Bye. All right, everybody. We're going to shoot off to commercial real quick. We overtalked it. We'll be right back.
Always. I need to go get a shirt made for Sunday. Can you still get shirts made at the mall?
Get a hold of my wife. Like they do at the mall. Faster.
Hey, let me
She's got to get one for Zaylee made. So reach out to her.
Let me know before you go, and I'll get
you. Got shirts. Get a hold of my wife and say that you and Abby are discussing getting some more shirts made. Take to Jennifer.
Like to have them for Sunday?
Let me know when
she does the press vinyl like they do at the mall.
Yeah, because I want to do on the front. Yeah, I want to do on the back.
I don't like anything like right here, on the breastises.
Abby? Getting.
Bailey a just for fun shirt. So that means if she's gonna get the machine set up to do one, she needs to go ahead and do like 4 or 5 just for funs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me know, and when I leave here, I'll go.
I just said, Abby and I were talking about getting shirts. What do we need to do?
I'll have 2.
I thought about getting one of those like.
See, I'm thinking about getting a green one. Yeah, that color.
Like the lime green.
Like I won't have time to go to the store.
Got tomorrow and Saturday.
That's what I'm saying is I'm asking her.
Because I just know she's reaching out to her today. That means she wants to do it today.
Because if Abby brings me something and I
need to know when my wife
coming tomorrow, she can.
And Jennifer has to work daytime job, so it may be she ain't gonna do it till Saturday anyways.
Right.
So that would give us a couple of days.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind getting.
Let me know about tomorrow.
I would assume. I just meant to check in with y'all last night, and we just got.
I don't know.
But
no, because I was like, I haven't been there in a week and a half. Am I going to remember anything?
That's what Crystal said. Crystal said Denise did pretty good after not being there for almost 2 weeks. I was like, has it been that long? I just appreciate you willing to come in. And then my, his friend Essen,
Yesterday, my friend's daughter went down to. She had cancer and they had actually moved out to like California.
I love it. I love it. Look at that walker.
That's funny.
That's what the old guys. I'm gonna need one like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send that to
out to California.
Sleeper.
Something.
Right.
She died. Getting married. Tried to tell her. She's like another daughter to me. We tried to tell her. Yes, it sucks, and I know you want to be home. Nothing that's going to be different. She can't. She shared a picture of her.
I ask you, is that the Colt Ford one?
So Doc shared the thing about the chilies.
Yeah, I
And
was just looking at that.
Then I said, we talked about this on the show this morning. They were retested yesterday and got a 94, but I'll be passing on going there. And she goes, exactly, Denise. Once you get a 46, I'm good. This is the 5th local chain restaurant to fail a health inspection in this area this year, and we're only 4 months into the year. I told the kids. I have to go get changed for work.
Yeah, I just told them they can take out any locks. Just make sure they put them back.
They're being nice and letting you play.
But he said yes, sir, when I walked by. So that was pretty good. David must have beat him pretty good.
No, they're polite to other people. It's
just not you.
And like they'll come home from places or people stop us out.
Behave.
They're doing that for other people.
Home, it's different anyway. I said at home, it's different anyway.
I was just singing that song.
Singing.
I date young women with no.
Are you ready? And we're going back. Trying to squeeze it in. We're in that lower 15.
I like squeezing it off. I mean, pinching. I mean, squeezing it in.
Man, did you just really say you're pinching one off?
I'm about to.
Hopefully she doesn't leave a surprise. Like,
hey, we need to try calling people and telling them we love them.
What? Sorry, I was reading a text message.
Whatever. So when we tried calling Steve yesterday,
yeah,
for
I
his
got
birthday,
yeah.
He said the first time he was on the phone with a customer,
right?
The second time he'd literally just gotten out of the truck to go pay his tag, and he was like, "You should have tried a third time." So when he got,
yeah, that's what we should do. Keep trying when you don't answer the phone.
Yeah. So then when he got up to have lunch with his wife yesterday, he goes, I looked at him and I was like, "Nope, I already tried telling you twice. I'm not telling you happy birthday. I already tried twice. But did you like my sexy song?"
Did you ever heard the joke of, you know what you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
And you already told them twice.
I just thought I'd throw that out there because it's you were like,
I know a certain
made that crack, you know.
I know a certain that used to tell that joke all the time, and I was
who
old
who
an ex.
Who? I'm sorry.
I love you, Karen.
What?
She goes, "You and Abby look so bored."
Yeah, well,
we are
you know.
bored.
So tell me if you've heard any of these. These are excuses. I couldn't see the sign telling me not to do it. Did you ever hear that one?
Excuses for what?
These are like speeding tickets.
I love when somebody has to make up an excuse to justify why they're doing something, and it's like and I know I know I do this a lot, but when you have to make an excuse up,
you know you were doing wrong
to like justify why you're doing something, then you already know what you're doing is not right.
Right. How about I'm lost and unfamiliar with the roads?
Yes, I've heard that one numerous times.
I didn't know it was broken as far as like a defective light.
Yes.
Idiots.
Or I've had them say, well, What's a tag light? Really? Can I see? Yeah, come out here and look.
Yeah. I didn't know it was broken.
I mean,
no, that's
really?
the one I said. Everyone else was doing it.
Right. So that means if everyone else was jumping off a bridge, would you do
Yeah.
it?
I'm having an emergency situation in my car. For instance, I spilled a hot drink on the lap.
Isn't that why they say
And
caution
when you're
is
speeding,
hot?
how about you pull over?
No.
I missed my Turner exit.
Oh, yes, I know.
I didn't do anything.
You know what
dangerous.
pisses me off? Let's bring that up. How about I see somebody coming over the expressway on 138? They're on the bridge on the right-hand side of the road as we're starting onto the bridge.
Right.
As they're getting ready to turn onto I-20 eastbound, they realize they're supposed to be going westbound. They turn sideways and block 2 lanes of traffic because they want to get into the turning lane to get on I-20 westbound, which is already dead stopped. And these piece of craps just sit there and block the whole lane. Like, what the French toast are you thinking, you lazy bastard? Go turn around at the next red light and just either bust a U-ey if it's a legal intersection to bust a U-ey, or go turn into the outback.
But that's not what they want.
Turn around and pull back. What the hell is wrong with people that are stupid enough to do that? I should be able to pull out a 12 gauge and blow your brains out at that point.
Speaking of right
that's
there,
how stupid that is.
Right. Speaking of right there, I was. Okay,
you should lose your driver's license if they catch you doing that. They should be able to come up right then and there to demand your driver's license, demand you to get out of the car, tell the woman in the passenger seat, move this piece of crap to the side of the road, we're towing it.
Yeah.
You should not even legally be able to ever do that. Is the biggest, most disrespectful, disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life, and I get so aggravated seeing that. Can you tell?
Yes. Well, okay, so I was sitting at that light right there to go over 138 on Dogwood.
Right.
And you know the street that's right there by the hotel where they're building the road that goes underneath 138 to go over by Walmart and stuff?
Yeah, the bridge has been there for 5 years.
Old Covington, reconnecting Old Covington.
I guess so, whatever. Yes. No, but anyway, that hotel's there.
Is that considered Old Covington?
Old Covington Road.
Old Covington Road is what Rob's on.
But it's still like
a cut through to it, right. I guess. Go for it.
But anyway, so you know that street that comes out right there, and people are always trying to like go across the oncoming traffic to get to go across. Well,
but you can't turn if you're in that road. You can't turn left to try to get out at the red light. You're stupid. Take a right and go turn around somewhere.
Listen what happened. This woman came, and so she was in the turning lane, and she looked at me and asked if she could go in front of me. And I was like, that's fine. You're asking. Okay. I'm all for that.
But don't just pull out in front of me and sit.
The next woman pulled out and was sitting like kind of behind her, but was blocking the traffic.
Right.
And then she kept inching up. And so I kept inching up.
She wanted
because I was like, no, I'm not. You're not going in front of me. Well, the light turned green, and the woman I was letting out went, and she just hauled butt, was like that close from hitting me.
I just don't get it.
I just laid on my horn.
Think of where Flat Shoals and 138 is in the McDonald's. We watched somebody the other day pull out of that McDonald's and sit across 3 lanes of 138 to try to get into the turning lane to bust a U-ey to aim back towards I-20.
It's called HUA syndrome.
Why didn't you just come out the back side of the McDonald's, turn right on the Flat Shoals, take a left and U-ey where that median is, and it puts you at the red light where you can turn left and go to 138.
Because they're
police
entitled.
Officers need to start writing tickets for impeding the flow of traffic. Make some friggin' revenue for your town.
Because they're entitled.
They actually started working that intersection at Dogwood where O'Charlie's and the old Lens Crafters and the hotel.
They did it around Christmas and then stopped.
Right, because people keep blocking that square.
They block it.
The square.
I know.
But they did it around Christmas
understand
for like a couple weeks.
You could make tons of money. You can make tons of money. And Rockdale seems to be where it happens the most. People in Rockdale just think they can just sit in the middle of an intersection.
It's called
Saturday.
HUA.
I call it just stupid.
Head up arse.
Saturday, we were at that same intersection trying to go over 138 on Dogwood, and our light turned green. So we started going. This guy came flying down 138 and wasn't even paying attention.
How about all the idiots that come to the 4-way stop down here and don't stop? They just pull up, take a right. Like, they don't have to stop.
Oh, I've almost hit coming here.
They just run the stop sign.
Because I come from Salem Road. I've almost hit
full
of people doing that.
If we actually had
God forbid you have to
people write tickets for traffic violations, we would make our town, we wouldn't have a money problem.
Like I'm going to put people under citizen's arrest. I'm going to start doing that.
People go, what's going to happen when they start pulling you over? I said, I'm not doing anything stupid to get pulled over.
Like you said, that they feel entitled.
It's exactly what it is.
Yes. I get here
Everybody owes them everything, and God forbid.
Right.
God forbid. And then she would have blamed me, like the one that pulled out.
Well, she kept inching up, so it's her fault.
I just don't understand it. People want to talk about road rage. It's like, because they're stupid people driving. Mm-hmm. It's not road rage, but it is. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22.
Mm-hmm. It's aggressive driving is what it is.
That's when we went to the Gladiators.
We watched a video. Game. Did you see the video shooting around last night? I didn't share it. Let me pull it up real quick. David Neal, a friend of mine, shared it. There's a dude on a crotch rocket who is hauling ace, and there's a car chasing him. Now, the dude on the crotch rocket ends up on the left side of the road trying to get away from this car because this car is actually trying to run him over and kill him. Mm-mm. And me and my wife were talking about it. Look right there. This is where the guy pulls up and the rider on the bike stops, not stop to a complete stop, but slows down, and the guy hangs out the window and punches him. And it's like my wife's going, man, this dude's crazy riding like that. I said, but the problem is, like, in my mind, pull over and run in a convenience store. But the problem is, if this guy's stupid enough to chase you with his car and try to hit you with his car, you don't know, is he stupid enough to get out with a gun and shoot you? So, of course, the guy on the crotch rocket's like, I'm getting the hell away from this guy. This guy's probably reaching, speeds of 100 miles an hour to get away from the car. And the car doesn't care who he hits.
No.
He just keeps doing it. Watch this. I'm going to turn the volume down so you can see it. But this guy, watch this car. Now, he just slams on the brakes and tries to cause this motorcycle to wreck. Look at that.
Cow.
And it does this for like 7 minutes. But it's crazy. This guy is trying his best to get away from him. And it's just insane. But what do you do? What do you do? In my case, I got a pistol. I would have pulled over. If homeboy tried to do something, I'm defending myself. I had a guy in my wife's car the other day. I was coming out of Loganville. The dude's on my ass, following me all the way down to Georgia 20. Mm-hmm. So I crossed Miller Bottom. He's on my ass. I crossed into Rockdale. He's on my ass. Well, I get to where 20 turns left. So it gets to where I'm pulling up to the light, and I see a car coming the opposite direction, but he has a yield sign, and we're both turning onto that road.
Right.
So I goose it. I'm in a little sports car. I goose it. At least I know that guy behind me now can't turn left behind me because the other car's fixing to get behind me. So these two cars get behind me. Did I exceed? Yes, I exceeded the speed limit. I'm trying to get away from this guy. Mm-hmm. I get down to where Rockdale used motorcycle is called Rockdale Cycles, and I whip in it real quick. And I saw the guy in the Mercedes. As he passed, he noticed I was standing in the parking lot. He slams on the brakes, and I'm like, "Are you coming back?" Because at this point, I already had 911, and all I had to do is hit send because I didn't know what was going on with the dude. But this is what's happening with our world. These people are driving like this and starting all these fights.
Yeah, I mean, when I was like 4 weeks pregnant with Austin, I mean, I was really, really newly pregnant. And I was
newly pregnant. Is there such thing as oldly pregnant?
No. I was on the way.
Barely? Is there a barely pregnant?
She was just barely.
So there's barely pregnant and over barely.
Anyway, I was on the way from Gainesville to McDonough to go to a bank. And I had a like $45,000 check to bring to the bank. And so all I was focusing on was getting to the bank because I don't want this money in my hand longer than it needs to be. So I had never been on 675. So I didn't know that it went from 3 lanes down to 2. Well, I had went around. I was in the fast lane and
left in the fast lane.
Sorry, I know. And so I merged over. This guy was probably like 4 or 5 car lengths behind me.
Right.
And he said I cut him off. So he comes up beside me and intentionally comes over and hits my car.
Oh my God. Isn't that something?
And so we pull over and he's yelling at me. I don't have a cell phone, or my cell phone was dead or something. And All I know is it's like 4:30 and I need to be at the bank at 5. And so then we have to wait for the cop to get there. And it was really funny because it was this little Chinese cop. And he looks at the guy and he goes, I give you ticket for and Papa change lane. And the guy looked at me and he goes, thanks. No, I was laughing. And he was like, real funny, huh? And I was like, yeah, it is actually.
You hit me.
Right.
And I was like, he should have gotten freaking arrested for road rage.
But see, the thing that gets me is this, is if you're using your vehicle as a weapon and you're trying to hurt me, then why are you not being charged for that?
Right.
That's what gets me.
Well, that's what. And so then I finally
the intent is there.
Right. I finally get to McDonough and I couldn't find, for the life of me, find this bank. So I'm stopping. It's like 4:58, and I'm stopping at the Eckerd and calling this bank and being like, "I'm here. I don't know where you are. Please don't close because I have this huge check."
Right.
So I finally was able to get to the bank. They stayed open for me, thank God.
Wow.
And because I would have never heard the end of it if I never. But I was like, and so he was the person I brought the check to the bank for was like, "Did you get the check in the bank?" I was like, besides the fact that I got hit by somebody.
Yeah, everything's good.
Don't worry about that.
Thank you. You got the check in the bank.
I just don't understand.
Well, there's so much going on out there. We turned the funny show, into some stupid stuff. But the thing is we all live the same life. We all deal with the same stuff. And that's what we try to explain to people all the time is you're not the only one having a bad day. There's other people having a bad day. And sometimes you may not see your day in somebody else's perspective. And sometimes you need to listen and pay attention because everybody's going to see it different. Everybody's going to have a different type of experience, yet it might still be similar, but you got to see it sometimes from somebody else's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Saying. Well, we're at 9:59. We's out.
Yep.
I got errands to go do. I mean, like next Monday. I'm waiting for next Monday.
Errands.
You have errands? Do you have more than one errand to go do?
Well, I know Erin Hill, and she's
is it a
she's like a stepdaughter. I don't know that you can use that's kind of weird. Why would you say that? Ugh, what's wrong with you? You're
ERIN.
I drank the Kool-Aid.
You drank the Kool-Aid. She just got finished saying she likes Kool-Aid.
Yeah, look, hey, I just fixed me some fresh Kool-Aid.
That's right. All right, so we're out. Everybody have a good day. Joe Leaper, I'm on my way. I will see you here shortly.
No, he's not, Joe.
I may have one stop I have to make before Joe Leaper's business, but I am fixing to head out. I got to make
He's got to put his shoes on.
I got to get dressed. I got to put the dog out.
It takes longer than a girl to get ready, so it's going to be like
Christ.
3 hours.
Got to go sit down.
All right, we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, by the way, this song goes out to Denise.
What is it?
Bye, you guys on video.
Bye.